No, that's progress
If
for
Ben
sure.
Simmons was on fire, would you pour water on him and put him out?
How much water?
You
Like,
have
could I-
full 2 buckets of water.
Am I having like a choice of like using that water for something else or putting it on him?
Yeah, you could drink it later if you got thirsty.
Could I maybe like donate that water to someone in need?
All right,
Ben
Ben Simmons on fire.
burning.
Yeah. Ben Simmons is on fire. You have one big pot of water. You also have a bunch of pasta, and that's the only way you can cook it.
And you're hungry.
And you're hungry. You're a hungry boy.
I could probably go.
On today's Part of My Take, we have a massive show for everyone. We've got our good friend Greg Olsen on, talking about TEU, talking a little football, getting us excited. We're under 100 days away from the NFL season kicking off. We also have Zach Lavine on the show, talking a little playoff basketball, his golf game ahead of Tahoe Chill Week. We have a very special interview with Thundor and Thunder Princess, talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder superfan world, the Thunder going all the way. We're going to talk about the Knicks saving their season and also inside the NBA. Stanley Cup Final is set. And then we have a very special Fyre Fest with the boys back from their trip to Indy and a little recap of what transpired on Tuesday night with special guest Zach. Great show, and it's all brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. It's the best time of year for hoops fans, playoff drama, buzzer beaters, all the chaos we live for. And if you're done just watching and ready to actually win some cash, you got to check out Pick 6 from DraftKings. Nobody's dropping better payouts than Pick 6. Hit 6 picks, and that's 25x your cash. And if you beat your competition, you could be looking at 500 times your bag in your pocket. It's super simple. Select your picks, track your score. Go for those big time prizes. No gimmicks, just straight up fun. Pick 6 is live in most states like Missouri, Cali, Texas, Georgia, and plenty more. So, yeah, don't settle your week payouts. Make your picks with Pick 6 and let your basketball brain pay off. New to DraftKings Pick 6, new customers toss in just $5 on your first entry, and you'll get $50 in bonus picks instantly. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. Play $5, get $50 in bonus picks, better payouts, bigger wins, only on Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go.
Hey, football guy. Patino. AWL. Martin Mighty. Yeah. Martin Mighty. Yeah. Martin Mighty. Yeah. Martin Mighty. Yeah. Martin Mighty.
Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. Play $5, get 50 in bonus picks, better payouts, bigger wins, only on Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Friday, May 30th, and the New York Knicks are still alive after winning Game 5 at MSG. We're going back to Indy, PFT. And I know we didn't have a show on Wednesday, and oh, how everything changes in 2 days, because we had one of the greatest performances in Tyrese Halliburton on Tuesday night with a triple-double, 15 assists, 0 turnovers, and then he had is it a triple single? I don't know what you'd call it.
I've had a few of those.
Yeah.
The story of the night was that the humble New Yorkers took the big Indianapolis shit talk personally.
Yeah.
They heard a lot of it in Indy. Memes got to hear it firsthand. And New York had a great game. The 2 sweetest words in the English language, Game 6.
Yeah.
We get another one. I'm excited to see this series go. Now, I was willing to trade a shitty game tonight for the possibility of a more meaningful, great game later. It wasn't a great game tonight. The Knicks came out. They had something to prove. It never really felt that close. The Pacers came back a few times here or there, but then Jalen Brunson kind of stepped on their throats in the third quarter. And from that point on, it felt like the Knicks never they kept their eye on the ball, never really lost control, never really let Indy get close enough to do one of their crazy ass into the game comebacks. So I'm okay with having a game where there's not a lot of lead changes, not a crazy comeback at the end, as long as it means that maybe in one of the next 2 games, we might get one of those.
Yeah, we get a game this weekend, which we weren't going to have because we're going to talk about the Thunder going to the NBA Finals when we get back in studio in a minute. So we now have a game Saturday. We saved another day of Inside the NBA, although I'm still confused. I feel like they're doing it next year.
Yeah, last year was the time when we had the funeral for it, when everybody got up and said some nice words, and it was a very somber affair. But then they announced that ESPN was going to be licensing it. Or I don't know. NBC is doing the Jordan thing.
Yeah.
So Inside the NBA will be around. It's just going to be on a different channel.
But it's still going to be there. But I'm happy we get another game. It did feel like the Pacers were kind of going through the motion tonight. They shot like shit. Halliburton. This was a great. Actually, you know what? I'll say this. We were lucky we didn't have a Wednesday show because these 48 hours were narrative building hours. I was consuming sports media. Mm-hmm. There was the Tyrese Halliburton is a superstar. He's the face of the league. He's next up. And Jalen Brunson's a liability, and he's he can't keep him out there because of defense, and he's not a winner. And if you just skip if we don't do a Wednesday show, which we didn't do, it all kind of evens out because Halliburton was not good tonight. He was bad tonight, and this is kind of the knock on him is that he has nights like Tuesday, which are out of this world good. Complete engine to an offense and does everything correct. And then you have nights like tonight where he doesn't really, can't really tell that he's out there. And Jalen Brunson had a night like tonight where he's like, there's no way we're losing this game. Yeah. So narrative flipped, but we don't get old takes exposed because we never had a narrative on Wednesday.
It's pretty good. You're right. I was ready to get real reckless with the takes because I was listening. I was ready. I was listening to all the sports media. I was listening to every show and hearing what they were having to say. People saying that he's just too small to win basketball games.
Yep.
Like we're forgetting that we're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Correct.
And in large part due to Jalen Brunson's play in the playoffs. He's been really, really good. Of course, he's not the best defender in the world, but that's okay. A lot of players don't play that great defense. But we were burying, as a society, we buried Jalen Brunson in the last 2 days. I'll give you a sneak peek as to one thing I was going to say if they had lost tonight, just to kick the conversation to higher gear. I was getting ready to ask the question, were the Dallas Mavericks also correct to let Jalen Brunson walk and lowball him at a $55 million offer? Mm-hmm. And is Nico just the smartest GM in the history of the world for letting both Jalen Brunson and Luka get out of town? I was ready to get that spinning up. But again, we didn't have a show, so luckily I never said that.
I was going to get reckless as well. On the other side, I was going to say, is Tyrese Halliburton the best player in the Eastern Conference not named Giannis? But I didn't. I didn't say any of that, so we're good.
Is it? But it's an interesting thought to have. I think we might have the conversation at some point.
But then
when his dad's in the building, he is.
Yeah, he does this. So, and again, he's still a very young player, and it's not like I'm saying he's bad. But I think to take that next step, you can't have nights like tonight. You know what I mean? Like he's got to be consistently, and he does do so much, even if he's not scoring. That's why he's so great.
What was the stat that you told me when I came in on Wednesday? Something about
it was so this. I love this stat. I might get this person wrong. I think it was Todd Whitehead. And he does like weird analytics and stuff, and he's a very good follow. I'm gonna try to find it, but he had a stat which was basically like, hey, if you miss football, let me just give you this stat. Yeah, his name's Todd Whitehead on Twitter, and he does cool stats. So on Tuesday night, if you took Tyrese Halliburton's entire performance and made him a QB, on Tuesday night, he threw 77 passes for 444 yards with 0 interceptions. 77 passes, 444 yards, 0 interceptions. He had 15 assists, 0 turnovers on Tuesday night.
That's Texas Tech numbers.
Yeah, it was basically like, hey, this is what it must feel like to be mansplained to, because I saw the stat and I was like, okay, that's sick.
Yeah, now I really understand just how hard that was to do.
Yeah.
Like I watched it and it was incredible, but now, yeah, I mean, if he was a football player, he should have played football.
Yeah, 77 passes, 0 picks. But yeah, tonight I just feel like the Pacers as a whole kind of went into tonight being like, we can just win this game with a little half effort. And the Knicks are like, no, we're not going out this way. And I respect the hell out of that by the Knicks. Like, you don't know what's going to happen in game 6. You don't know what happens in game 7. But to not lose it tonight is big because you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose 4-1 on your home court.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not going to work against Tibbs if you half-ass it because they're going to lose their entire ass. They're going to play a little bit of booty ball.
Also, credit to Tibbs. The bench. He's using his bench. He's like, hey, maybe I can just throw some of these guys out there and let them go balls to the wall on defense and not worry about, like, hey, they might get some fouls, but that's okay. Like, Landry Shamet, DeLon Wright, these guys are actually playing real minutes now, 10, 14 minutes. Good job by Tibbs. Like, hey, throw some guys out there. Throw some more guys at him.
It was also kind of a sneaky thing that he did because I think Josh Hart started on the bench, right? But he still got 34 minutes.
That's what he's been doing. He does. Josh Hart starts on the bench, sits for 5 minutes, and then plays the rest of the game.
Yeah,
and then second half, same thing. Yeah,
I'm using my bench.
Yeah,
I went down a little rabbit hole tonight because I'm fascinated with Mitchell Robinson, and I don't know how much you know about this guy personally, like what he's like off the court.
Yeah, he's the man.
He's the most country dude that you'll ever meet in your entire life. Guess how many dogs Mitchell Robinson has?
He's got to have like 20.
Yeah, he's got 18 dogs.
Okay.
He owns 18 dogs. I think a dozen of those dogs are Rottweilers. So massive respect. He's got like 1 million trucks, pickup trucks. And they are, when I say they're trucks, he actually owns monster trucks. Like his personal trucks that he uses to drive around in. Indistinguishable from monster trucks. Mm-hmm. If you go on his TikTok page, it's all trucks, dogs, fishing, country songs, and then bigger trucks. I think we've been looking for the next big country for a long time. I think it's just been Mitchell Robinson the whole time.
Can I ask a question about the 18 dogs? And I want to do this carefully. We're all dog people here except Matt. Well, Max has a dog now. Hank's actually the only one who's not a dog person.
Yeah, fact.
That is absolutely insane.
Your mic stinks. Your mic stinks.
No, my mic's the best mic.
No, your mic stinks right now. It blew out all of our ears.
Hey, guess what? The people listening, this is going to be the best mic.
Oh, okay. You want to bet? Yes, I forgot that you have I forgot you have a dog now. I'm sorry, Billy. Shout out Billy. Named after Billy Football. So Hank's the only one who's not a dog person here, but as dog guys. PFT, Max, Pug. If you have 18 dogs, and one of them passes away, is that can't be the same sadness, right? Like it's still sad, but that's a lot of dogs. Like, can you keep track of all those dogs?
I think even if you have 18 dogs, if it's one of the older ones, I think like. They each get their time in the sun. Like when they're a puppy, obviously they get a lot of shine. When they're middle-aged dogs, you kind of forget about them. Then when they're veteran dogs, the ones that like King Charles, the alpha male dog, which I'm obsessed with, the Chinese dog that just regulates on everybody. The dogs get a chance to prove themselves to be special. And then by the time that dog gets old, if it passes away, it's a sad occasion. But,
that's true. But 18 is a lot to keep like, if you saw 18 dogs in a backyard, you wouldn't be able to be like, that's 18 dogs right away because they're running around. Like it would take you a while to count them.
But if I saw 18 dogs in somebody's backyard, I would immediately think whoever lives there is a fantastic rebounder.
Absolutely.
That's a big rebound guy move.
By the way, I'm saying this in that I'm saying almost as a positive that like Mitchell Robinson might have found a way to not feel like the immense sadness of a dog passing is like, hey, if you have 18 of them, it might take it down. Like, I'm not saying it's not sad. It might take it from like 100% sadness to like 95% sadness. And that might be a good strategy.
I would think that an older dog above the age of like 9, you feel that same sadness. But if it's like a middle-aged dog that passes away, you feel sad, but you're like, you know what? Next dog up.
Yeah, 17 more dogs.
Yeah.
So many dogs.
That's an awesome amount of dogs for an NBA player to have.
It really is. Hey, listen, Max, I'm saying that something nice about you because you just blew out all of our eardrums with your great mic. And I know he's going to do some weird editing tricks, so he's going to make it sound awesome.
It's just we are recording it separately through our actual studio.
It was loud for everyone.
Oh, Hank's doing a little face. Max, congratulations. You won our first basket challenge with DraftKings. The NBA playoffs are almost over. It's about to get wild. High-stakes drama, insane buzzer beaters, jaw-dropping dunks, and the excitement you live for. And guess what? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is giving you a chance to boost your winnings every single game during the playoffs. That's right. Every game, all playoffs long, DraftKings is rolling out a special NBA profit boost. So what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code TAKE to claim your profit boost. That's right. Code TAKE gets you a boost for every single NBA playoff game. Don't miss your shot at big wins. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. So congratulations, Max. $5,000 free bet.
Thank you.
Good job.
We were pretty bad at this throughout the entire playoffs. None of you guys hit one of them.
Yeah.
Which made it slightly easier for me.
Taking the congratulations back.
Listen, the first basket is meaningless in these playoffs. The last basket, that's where your money's
Great point. But yeah, $5,000 free bet. I'm splitting it with a very hardworking behind the scenes guy, Quigs here. So we're gonna put out a parlay probably next week around sometime. I'm excited for it.
Love it. Memes quickly, and we're gonna talk about the Indy trip during Fyre Fest with Zach.
Yes.
How are we feeling? Do we have a percentage on like Knicks being back and can win this series?
I feel good right now. The Pacers are really good. After watching them in person, that was like one of the greatest shooting performances. And I mean, their fans are incredible, except that one woman. The most important part when you're down 3-1 is just that your team doesn't quit, and that's all you could ask for. And you just keep hoping they don't quit, and just keep fighting till the very end.
I agree with you. I think it was unnecessary to take a shot at John Cougar Mellencamp like that, but I agree with the rest of it.
Fair point. I agree with John though. I accept his apology.
Okay. I hope it goes 7. 7 would be Monday night, right?
Yeah, 7 would be great. I'd like to see some crazy comebacks. I think this series has been awesome to watch. There's been great basketball. So I'm at the point where now the more basketball, the better.
Yeah, that's what I was saying the other night.
Game 7 in the Mecca would be
scenes. And that's what I was saying the other night about like the rooting for it like it's Mario Kart. We, in the last, 48 hours or 24 hours, we've lost both conference finals in hockey, and we lost the Western Conference Finals. We needed this to keep going. Otherwise, we were going to be stuck with no playoff sports this weekend and just sitting there waiting for the finals to start on Thursday. So good job. Good job, Knicks. Give us one more game. Yeah. What memes you're thinking?
Theoretically, if the NBA is rigged, wouldn't you want a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yes.
Yeah.
So why not just do it?
Well, if the NBA is rigged, you want the Knicks in the finals.
Yeah, but I feel like Game 7, you pull the rigged back and you just let them go at it.
Got it.
What will be will be.
Yeah.
Game 6, you call in Scott Foster.
Game 6
Game 7, your services are no longer needed.
No, it's just let them fight to the death.
Yeah.
The NBA is definitely going to call Scott Foster Game 6, right? We can agree on that.
I would imagine. Also, shout out to the Knicks fan. I saw this posted. Someone sent it to me. A Knicks fan bought paid a witch on Etsy to cast a spell to help the Knicks win tonight. Is that Blake?
That's Blake. He'll be okay.
That's okay. What's up, Blake?
He's having a great time.
Shout out that fan. Takes everyone. We're gonna get to it with Thundor and Thunder Princess, but like a Knicks fan buying a witch's spell on Etsy for $8.48, that could have been the difference.
So, do we have any proof that there was actually a witch involved, or somebody just said that?
They showed the receipt on Etsy.
That to me seems like you're cheaping out on your witches.
Yeah, you might have to up your witch game. I'd agree. But
Thank you, muted.
Go visit Death.
Ooh, I have a feeling Death might be dead. Is there a chance Death is dead?
She was a real witch.
She
was
was.
dead,
She was
will never die.
older. Yeah. Okay, we'll put it on the
She
list.
seems like something maybe COVID. Like
Oh, yeah, you're right. Hank's right. I can see it.
Hank, when you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
She gave a COVID vibe 4 years before. I knew something was up.
Couldn't hang with COVID. All right. Stanley Cup Final. We're here. Rematch last year. Awesome. I'm so excited for this. Oilers Panthers, best two teams. Panthers finish off the Hurricanes on Wednesday night. Oilers finish off the Stars tonight. And the Oilers have been on fire. So they started their series, I think it was the first series of the entire playoffs, 0-2 against the Kings. And since then, they're 12-2, of 25 goal differential, plus 25. And Skinner's been awesome, and their power play's been awesome. And now the question is, can you beat the Panthers, who have looked every bit of dominant, even obviously going 7 against the Leafs, but they absolutely throttled the Hurricane, and they're relentless.
Yes, Hank?
The Oilers touched the trophy.
So, okay.
They touched the Campbell. Was it the Campbell Cup?
Yeah, they did. They didn't last year.
You never do.
Sidney Crosby did the same thing 08-09. Didn't touch it 08, lost in the Cup final, touched it 09, won.
I got a fun little stat for you. Can you name the last 3 Stanley Cup Finals rematches? Including this one. We'll count this one as the most recent one. So you just said one of them.
Was Bruins?
The Penguins, Red Wings.
Penguins, Red Wings, yep.
Penguins, Red Wings.
Not Bruins, Blackhawks.
Nope.
No. Hold on. The
Rangers.
Lightning didn't play. The Lightning played. Who did the Lightning?
It's a meaningful stat.
It's got to be farther back, right?
It's a meaningful stat.
Devils.
I'll just say it.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Give me one more second. How far back?
Do you want me to give you
The most recent one is Red Wings Penguins, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. Devils Avalanche?
Nope.
No, did they
Oilers.
play?
Yep.
Oilers Islanders?
Oilers Islanders.
Yep.
Gretzky lost the first time.
And then
second year won.
Yep.
Crosby loses the first time to the Red Wings. Second time comes back and wins. Now McDavid loses to the Panthers the first time. Second time, I think I like the Oilers, boys.
Oh, I
think,
absolutely do.
I think it's coming home.
Yeah.
I agree. They're going to be and they have home ice. I like the Oilers as well. Now, the only thing that makes me nervous about the Panthers is, one, they're very good at hockey, which should be noted. 2, they have been ordering blizzards before the game and eating them in between periods.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. That's some analytics you don't get in the stat department.
I got Panthers on.
I saw there was...
Wait. Do they have Dairy Queens in Canada?
Oh, good question.
I know they got Tim Hortons.
Good question. So they got to steal one without the DQ Blizzard.
Yeah, this is a big...
Ooh, good question.
It looks like they do have Dairy Queens in Canada.
Okay.
In Edmonton.
So this was from Katie Engelson. I can confirm the Panthers group that went to Dairy Queen the night before Game 2 went to Dairy Queen last night before Game 5. So they go the night before. And then also, I saw Marchand had one in between periods the other night. So that's tough. That's
I'm
tough.
looking at a map of Edmonton right now.
You're saying that's tough in the way like the kids say it, right, Big Cat?
That's tough in the fact that, like, if you tell me there's a team powered by Dairy Queen, I'm going to be like, that team is unstoppable.
Yeah. No, like that's what the kids say when you wear like a cool, like, oh, that's tough.
That's tough. That's tough.
Like them getting blizzards is tough.
That's tough.
I'm seeing at least 17 Dairy Queen locations in Edmonton right now. Listen, Edmonton, everybody in town has to be behind this effort.
Yeah.
From the guys who are out there on the ice to the people that are cleaning the Blizzard machine. Do not sell Blizzards to the Florida Panthers. Don't do it. It's that simple.
Can't do it.
You have to
shut
ask
them
them,
down.
and they have to tell you if they're a member of the Panthers organization. Otherwise, it's entrapment, and that's against the law. Don't sell Dairy Queen to anybody that sounds American. For Canadians only.
You know the Canadians can't do that. They're too nice.
They're too
and
nice.
I love
Okay,
that
well,
about them.
give
Because,
you
like, you
just a little
can't
treat now.
rob someone a Blizzard.
I still think it's the Oilers.
I agree with you. I'm rooting. We won't tell Whitney this, who hopefully we'll have on next week, but I am rooting for McDavid. I mean, we like to fuck with Whitney, but And then it is perfect because we can root for McDavid, and if he loses, we can just be like, we're right.
Yeah, we just shouldn't have doubted ourselves.
Yeah. He tricked us again.
my only crime was listening to the mob. The woke mob convinced me to root for McJesus.
Yeah. He tricked us again. We thought it was his year. Yeah, all right. I like this storyline, though. And I like, Hank, the fact that Crosby did it 08-09, does that not make it a little bit better?
Yeah, it does. I figured there had to be a reason. I was pretty shocked watching the celebration.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have anything else?
Ovechkin pre-retired. He pre-tired for like 2 hours today.
Oh.
So the Washington Capitals sent out an email to season ticket holders asking to renew, and they said this is Alex Ovechkin's last season playing in the NHL. And so everybody was like, what the fuck? He hadn't announced that or anything. Is this how they're telling us? And then everybody was asking about it, and the Capitals had to send out another email being like, the person that wrote that email actually had no knowledge whatsoever. They just put that in there to try to get people to buy tickets. So to their knowledge, he has not made a decision on whether or not last year will be his last year.
Okay, but I do like that by that guy.
It's a good move to sell tickets.
Great move. Great move to sell tickets.
And
also,
next Monday's part of my take will be the last part of my take that we ever do. So make sure to tune in.
Yeah. Also, Brian Schottenheimer said that Dak Prescott is in the development phase of, I think, maybe his football career. So let's all cut him a little slack.
Let's just let him develop a little bit more. He needs more time.
Developing.
He needs more time to progress.
He's a 31-year-old developing quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, Dak. I think Dak is the most who we think he is quarterback in the NFL. We've been dead right about Dak. For years. At his best, like he will throw 5 touchdowns against some shitty teams.
Yeah,
and he'll light it up. But
because
when the rubber meets the road, we know what's up with Dak.
Even if you think about like Patrick Mahomes, like he could get bad somehow for a year. He'd be like, "Whoa, we didn't see that coming." Mm-hmm. There's nothing that's going to surprise us with Dak.
I've never been more right about anything in my life than I have been my entire life about Dak Prescott.
He's going to put up good stats. There'll be a stretch where everyone's like, hey, the Cowboys this is different this year. And then the playoffs.
Good guy, though.
Great guy. 17th best quarterback.
Favorite color gray.
Hey, wait, you had a stat you wanted to give me. NFL.
I did have an NFL stat. Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
You said you teased me with it. It was such a tease. I was like, we were like middle schoolers with a crush on each other. I walked into the studio and PFT was like, I got a stat for you, but I'm going to save it for the show. And I was like, tell me now.
Okay. So it's like something that we have to maybe put a future on. And the guy that he DM'd me the first stat and he said, remember when that guy gave Big Cat the Tarek Skubal envelope? This is my version of that. Okay. But then I went and I added to the stat a little bit. So I think this comes from the Ovies and Giglo podcast. I'm probably butchering that name. They seem like nice guys. Seem like they've got a good podcast. They were talking about the Panthers. They're big Carolina Panthers fans in the NFL. And they said in the 2002 college football season, Ohio State wins the national championship. That same year, the Carolina Panthers have a losing record. The Panthers opened the next season by playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they go to the Super Bowl. In 2014, Ohio State wins the national championship. The Panthers have a losing record. The very next year, the Panthers open up with the Jaguars, and the Panthers go to the Super Bowl. 2024, Ohio State wins the national championship. The Panthers have a losing record. Next year, 2025, the Panthers open up with the Jacksonville Jaguars again.
Yep.
This feels like it's written in the start. Now I did a little bit more research because I thought to myself, those years 2002, 2014 sound familiar in a certain way that matches up with 2024. Also in 2002, Jennifer Lopez filed for divorce from Chris Judd. 2014, Jennifer Lopez filed for divorce from Mark Anthony. 2024, Jennifer Lopez files for divorce from Ben Affleck.
Wow.
It seems like the Carolina Panthers are going to be the Super Bowl.
Okay, so we just got to pick them to win the NFC.
Yep.
Easy.
I think this is how you make the money. Long shots nobody else is thinking about. Bryce Young takes the next step.
This is great. I'm in. Mm-hmm. And it's gonna look terrible, but we're gonna ride it. Like week 5, we'll be like, why do we believe this? But then week 15, we'll be like, yeah, fuck yeah, we're smart.
Just wait. Yeah, I think we have certain future bets that we look at, and every time we're looking at the DraftKings app and we click on My Bets, it says you've got this one out in the future. We feel great about it. Like, I've just got money that hasn't hit the bank yet. This is going to be one of those bets that's going to feel terrible every time we look at it.
Yeah.
But then we're going to be laughing all the way to the bank.
Listen, if the Panthers aren't doing well, we'll just talk about them a ton on the podcast and get everyone to vote them to the Super Bowl like we do with the Heisman every year.
Yeah, that's a great point.
It's just easy peasy. All right. Let's kick it to ourselves. We got a lot of show left in this great show. We got Thundor, we got Thunder Princess, we got Greg Olsen, we got Zach Lavine, we got Zach talking about the Indy trip. Back in studio, kick it to ourselves. Okay, before we get to the rest of the show, Truly Unruly. I'm holding it right now, the Strawberry Smash. Truly Unruly is the high alc hard seltzer that drinks light but parties hard. Drinks light, parties hard. Truly Unruly is a hard seltzer that breaks all the rules with 8% ABV. It hits hard, but still tastes amazing. Comes in 4 fresh flavors: Tropical Twist, Berry Blast, Citrus Crush, Strawberry Smash. The truly hard seltzer taste you love, the high alc unruliness you're looking for. So go check it out right now. We love Truly. Strawberry Smash, my official 1-1 pick. It is summer. It's about to get warm. We're about to be on the golf course. We're about to be at the beach. We're about to be in the backyard at the pool. And we're about to get unruly with Truly. Truly Unruly. Go get the Strawberry Smash right now. You also have the Tropical Twist, the Berry Blast, the Citrus Crush. All delicious. And again, it drinks light. It parties hard. 8% ABV. It's the official hard seltzer, pardon my take. Let's get unruly this summer, boys, with Truly. Go check it out now. The official hard seltzer, a pardon my take. Okay, we're back in studio. We're going to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder going to the NBA Finals, and we're going to do Hot Seat Cool Throne that will cover a lot of stuff. Yeah, on a Friday. A lot of stuff. By the way, Max, I did see a few people say that you did not push the button on Thursday. I said, that's my boy, and he knows he's got to push the button because if he doesn't, he's got to get a soul patch.
He's got button issues.
So he did not forget to push the button.
Right.
So Hot Seat Cool Throne on Friday. But the Oklahoma City Thunder are in the NBA Finals. Absolutely curb stomped the Timberwolves in Game 5. Completely, like, that series wasn't really competitive. Obviously, Game 4 was close, and the Timberwolves won Game 3, but the Thunder are significantly better than the Timberwolves. The Thunder, I said it last series when I felt like they were, like, growing up in front of our eyes against the Nuggets. This was a continuation of it where it's like, yeah, you're going to lose Game 3 when a team goes home down 0-2, and then having that resolve in Game 4 and then taking care of business in Game 5. This team is so goddamn good. And it all starts with SGA, who might be having one of the best seasons. He could be up there with one of the best seasons ever in terms of all the accolades he's putting out there, because he won the MVP, he won the scoring title, All-NBA first team, 68 wins for his team. They're in the finals. If he completes it, the trophy case is insane. He also is the first NBA MVP to go to the finals since Steph in 2015-16. He has been incredible, and this entire team is incredible.
Western Conference Finals MVP as well. I think Magic Johnson put it best. I want to apologize to the Oklahoma City Thunder for underestimating them and not thinking they were ready to compete for a championship. Now, he put that out last night at 10:38 p.m. And if you know anything about Irvin Magic Johnson and his Twitter accounts, he does not tweet anything in real time, ever.
No.
He rushed to his phone or to his assistant's phone and said, I need you to tweet this out right now. I need to take accountability right away for it. The Thunder are very, very scary. They're a scary team. They emasculated the Timberwolves last night.
Emasculated. 9 points.
They neutered the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
9 points in the first quarter for the Timberwolves, 23 points in the second quarter, And then they kind of woke up at the end when nobody really expected that it was going to be a game.
Some Luka Garza minutes.
There's some guys off the bench got some time, scored a few points.
Terrence Shannon Jr. actually was like one of the only Timberwolves players to show up at the end of the series.
I'll say this: as crazy as the NBA has been this postseason, this was the first time when at the end of the first quarter, I actually felt like this game was over.
Oh yeah, because
26-9.
It's also the way the Thunder play. Their defense is they forced 21 turnovers on Wednesday night. It just had the vibes after the first quarter of one of those home crowd parties just getting started. We're about to party for the next 2.5 hours. And yeah, it was Jalen Williams has played great in this series. Keeps taking steps forward. Chet is a monster. They just have so many guys, and their defense is suffocating. They made Anthony Edwards look not great.
No, bad.
And then did you see the Converse ad afterwards? They were mocking Anthony Edwards. I still don't really understand that ad because it was an ant crawling around. Mm-hmm. I was just waiting for someone to step on the ant. That would have worked in SGA shoes.
Like a giant shoe coming down.
Yeah,
like a Converse.
Yeah.
Coming down, crushing the ant.
But yeah, the Thunder are awesome. They are just an awesome team. I think they're minus 625 right now in the DraftKings Sportsbook to win the title. It's going to be a tall task to beat the Thunder in a 7-game series. Credit to the Nuggets for taking them to 7 games. But yeah, they're and here's the crazy part about the Thunder and what they've done. And we've alluded to this when we've started the debate of this is maybe the worst Thunder team in their dynasty era, which is just beginning. The Thunder just have like everything in front of them too. They have so many picks. Sam Presti is a pick-aholic. He just hoards the picks. He needs Marie Kondo to come over and be like, dude, does this pick give you love?
All the picks give him joy.
Does this 2027 second rounder give you meaning?
I hope that in future draft lotteries, he still has the opportunity to get into the top 5. That's such a nice wrinkle that can pop up from time to time. But yeah, the Nuggets have constructed a team almost the Thunder have constructed a team almost according to like the perfect blueprint that you could ever have, where everything falls into place.
They were only bad for a couple of years too. Like it wasn't. I mean, I know they tanked a little, but it wasn't.
It was 2 years.
Yeah, it was 2 years. It was 2 years that they were. They did the.
Chet got hurt. Chet was just out.
Chet was out, and they had. Remember the whole they told Al Horford to just go away.
Yeah, that was great.
And they're like, yeah, we don't want to win any of these games. But here's what I have it listed. Hold on. Here's what the Thunder have in this year's draft. They have 2 firsts. In next year's draft, they have 2 firsts and a second. In the 27 draft, they have 2 firsts and a second. And then their first in the 28th, 29th.
Next 2 years, not counting this one that's about to happen, but the next 2 years, who is their other first round pick from?
Let's find that.
Because that's where we get good with it. That's where it gets real freaky.
It is. It's crazy. The team they've constructed is so goddamn good. They're well coached. I
love what their coach said.
I don't know what their hole is. Like, they don't have a hole.
I love what their coach said after the game, which was they're professional, they're high character, they're idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like a fun team.
That was
the Red Sox, right?
Yeah.
The old Bo Sox, a bunch of idiots. Yep. Cowboy up.
Yep.
The group interviews, how do we feel about that?
I'm okay with it. You can do whatever you want.
If you win, I think you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I think that I think it's one of those situations where it's a little goofy. If they lose, they will get clowned for it. But if they win, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, I don't. Even if they lose, I don't think people remember that much.
Yeah. All right. So 2026, they have Dallas. Or no, sorry, that's the. Oh, they have 1 first round pick in 2026. I misspoke. In 2027, they have their first round pick. Then they have a Denver top 5 protected first round pick and an LA first round pick swap. I assume that's the
Clippers? Because they had a pick from the Clippers this year, too, I think.
Yeah. And then they have another Dallas first-round pick swap in 2028. It's crazy.
So the picks,
they have the Sixers pick next year, too.
Yeah, the Sixers pick next year, yeah. It's nuts. They just have all the picks. All the picks.
Good job. Good time to be a Thunder fan.
Good time to be a Thunder fan. We're going to talk to Thundor and Thunder Princess.
I was so happy for Thundor when they won.
Awesome interview.
So happy.
Very, very old school PMT. Just get some super fans into
a room that we don't even understand, all dressed up.
That, like, are hard to track down.
Yeah.
I have a fact. You can debate whether or not it's a fun fact. It is a fact. It's like a mildly entertaining fact, but it's so mildly entertaining it might be fun.
Okay.
So with the Thunder, they have 2 players named Jalen Williams on their team.
J-Dub and J-Will.
Those are the only 2 Jalen Williams to ever play in the NBA.
Wow.
And they got both of them. It seems like that's a pretty common name, right?
Yeah.
No, they got the only 2.
That's crazy.
I think that's a mildly mid fact.
That's a good fact. I like that fact.
Borderline wild.
That is borderline
Is it?
wild. To have the only 2 to play in the NBA on the same team, I would say that is wild.
It's not a nerd nugget.
No,
Nothing can be a nerd nugget.
it's a wild.
It's a wild nugget.
It's on the wild meter.
Okay,
Yeah.
sick.
We should briefly talk about the Timberwolves. That was a sad way to go out.
Body language problems.
Body language problems. Anthony Edwards, I love watching him play basketball. I didn't love watching him play basketball in this series because he was just bottled up and didn't seem like he was having Minnesota sports continue to be shut up, Minnesota sports fans. It's been a very rough go, and it continues. They have not won a title in 34 years. They're the longest streak of a city with all 4 big sports teams. They also are 0-10 in their last since 1991 in all conference finals. So they get to the conference finals and they lose. 127
10 out of
combined-
30 in 4 sports also is bad.
Yeah. 127 combined seasons without appearing in a championship game or series.
It's tough. I don't really feel that bad for Ant, although, like you, I enjoy watching him play basketball. Mike Conley I felt bad for.
Yeah.
It looked like that was a tough series for him to get over afterwards. And I want him to do something great. He seems like a good guy. But, I mean, the Thunder, there's just no beating them this postseason.
The Awoos are gone.
That's right, Hank. That's right.
You called it.
The guy off. I was, as much crap as I give SGA, just because at times he's annoying to watch, I still think he's an incredible player. And he is fun to watch when he's not doing the foul baiting stuff. I love
Face
watching
this
him.
league?
He might be the face of this
This
league.
is my favorite part of the NBA calendar where it's like
American hero,
whoever
SGA.
gets to the finals, we have to have the debate who's the face of this league.
Pass.
Because this was Anthony Edwards people have been trying to put the face of this league on him. And 2 Western Conference Finals for the Timberwolves they've been good the last 2 years. They obviously haven't been to the finals. I don't think you can be the face of this league without getting to a finals.
I think it might be Caruso.
Caruso might be the
He
face
might be
of
the
this
face.
league.
With Ant, just remember, he's really, really fucking young.
Yeah.
Like, young players don't get to the NBA Finals at his age.
He said that. They said, how disappointing is this or something like that? And he was like, it's exciting for me because I'm going to get so many chances to do this and get better in the offseason. You just never know with windows.
Hank's looking at me like, Tatum, who was the MVP? Remind me who the MVP of that final
Who
was.
should the
they got
MVP
there
should have been?
Before that, too. When he was even younger.
Who should the MVP should have been on that team?
He was pretty sure it was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP that year when they went.
Well, it's exceedingly rare that a person as young as Ant leads his team to an NBA Finals. It's a bright future.
Trial.
What are you doing? What are you doing today?
Trial,
what are you doing
trial,
today?
Trial.
Explain to me what you're doing.
This is
are
not.
you some?
This is not an outfit that I would wear to work normally. I normally
You look
just
like
wear,
you're about to sell me some shitty coke
I-
in like a dive bar in London.
I would wear this out, maybe on a night out in the town, at dinner or something, but I was unsure about it, so I wore it to work as a trial, and I got good feedback. I don't care what you guys say, but the
I mean, why wouldn't you care what
the
we
youth,
say?
the youth, and
I'm a known aura.
the women of the office are like, oh, you look good. I
The
like your
women of
outfit."
the office.
Yeah,
Are you their boss?
no.
So you wear clothes to work to impress the women of
It's
the
a
office.
trial.
Your
It was a
coworkers.
trial. I knew it was outside of what I normally wear, and I knew it was going to spark a reaction. I know the people in this office are dickheads, and they would tell you straight up, like, you look weird today. What's going on with this? But most people's first reaction is like, oh, I like it. So, trial.
Again, the people
Successful
that
trial.
report to you.
No, and guys, too.
It kind of looks like Zach Morris, like something that he'd wear on Saved by the Bell.
He's giving off like hooligan
Yeah.
London vibes.
That's cool. That's a good vibe.
Is it? You need a bucket hat.
Okay.
Maybe add that.
Yeah,
You're-
but yeah, it was a trial. I knew. I assume it's not. This is not normally what I would wear
And the socks?
in this office. Yeah, they match.
Oh, Each other? Most times they do.
No, but like the purple.
Remember when you said that Hank only wears black hoodies?
Yeah.
Right.
He's trying to change it up.
No, I would normally be wearing a black hoodie, but I was like, let's
try
Let's
it.
get a trial.
Listen,
run.
Yeah.
when you got a coupon to Bugle Boy, you spend all of it.
Have
you get
to.
the full rack.
Yeah. When Old Navy is doing a summer sale, you gotta fucking gobble it up.
It looks good, Hank.
Thank you. I know.
It looks good.
I know.
Bugle Boy.
Oh, you gotta put yourself on Bugle Boy, Max.
Bugle Boy.
You would look great in a set of Bugle Boy. Yeah.
I don't know. What that
Look at that.
Is this
90s,
an old thing?
90s
Yeah, it's
shit.
an old thing.
Yeah.
It's a very old thing.
Bugle Boy.
It's a great name. I'm in on the name of Bugle Boy.
Yes. It's a solid
PFT
name.
just did the Inglorious Bastards 3 for our age. When he said Bugle Boy, everyone looked up like, what?
No, Bugle Boy. No shit. I made an
No,
obscure
I know,
reference
I know.
to a shitty old.
I know, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But yeah, you look good, Hank.
Thank you.
You look good.
This Bugle Boy looks fire.
Bugle Boy was fire.
Look at this.
Get it. Oh, Hank, that is
actually
you.
is
It looks sick.
Hank, get it. Get it.
See?
Get it, Hank.
Yeah.
Okay, so Thunder are awesome.
Yeah.
Thunder and 5 against the Pacers.
I think.
we need.
Well,
do
we
you
don't
guys-
know. We're recording this earlier, so what if the Knicks are still in it?
I think Knicks in 7 against the Thunder, but they're going to sweep the Pacers.
Rate you guys. What do you think about the ratings?
Don't care.
Are you worried if it's a week off and then it's 2 small market teams?
I'm
potentially?
worried that I'm going to have a conversation about the ratings at some point in the future. Am I worried about what it means for the game? Nah, because you know what? That just means that only the real ball heads are going to watch.
The ratings discourse will get very annoying. I think if, let's say, the Pacers are there, the Pacers are a super fun team to watch play. The Thunder are a fun team to watch play. They're young stars on both sides. It should be celebrated instead of what people will do and say ratings and this and that. I don't know why you wouldn't want to celebrate it. And it's also 2 teams that are built the right way, and it's not, superstars teaming up. I think that should be celebrated, but of course there will be the narrative of, oh, this sucks for ratings, the NBA is dying.
No, I agree, and I'm not going to look it up or find it, but there was a guy that it was like, if the Pacers win, the Pacers and Thunder will be the first 2 teams to make it to the finals without having to pay luxury tax in
Yep.
like 16 years.
Yeah.
which is that's
Good.
That's commendable. Yeah,
Good.
Respect.
This is what we say that we want in sports.
Right.
Well, it's just weird too because it's such a bizarre thing that the NBA deals with, and maybe it's just I don't know if it's where it comes from villainizing the small market teams, but like that doesn't happen in football. Like Kansas City's not a big market. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just very bizarre that it's just specific. Buffalo is not a big market.
Yeah.
And you don't get the same thing. I think it's just everyone watches football no matter what.
And I also think that it's going to be a game for whoever wants the NBA to have bad ratings. They're going to talk about how bad the ratings are.
Right.
And what would be kind of funny, because I think it might be Caitlin Clark's first game back against the Sky, Chicago. That's Saturday, June 7th. There will be people comparing the ratings of that game.
I think she's out for that because I saw the tickets for that game.
I think it's
nosedive.
It's definitely big time up in the air. I think that there's an outside chance that would be her first game back. You would see people comparing the NBA Finals rating to the ratings of that game.
Yeah,
But personally, I don't care, but it does cross my mind because I'm going to have to see people talk about it.
Yeah, do you guys see that? I think White Boy Rick said it perfectly. We got a fox in the hen house situation with the NBA Central getting into WNBA discourse.
Oh yeah, it is fertile ground.
It
for them.
is. He NBA Central tweeted out something that was like, since Caitlin Clark's injury 72 hours ago, the WNBA has lost over 30 million Instagram followers.
Yeah, I love that.
And people were just like, "What the fuck? This is bullshit." It is a fox in the hen house. They're not ready for it.
No, but it's great.
It's also just that the entire WNBA discourse is so funny when you compare it to the NBA. I saw a meme of, it was Anthony Edwards in a wheelchair, and I think he had like special needs, and it was like them roasting how he played in this series.
Yeah.
And it's
They turn anybody who loses into Osama bin Laden.
the biggest loser of all
Immediately.
time. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. Okay, let's talk to Thundor real quick. A little more Thunder love. Thundor and Thunder Princess, and then we'll do Hot Seat Cool Throne. Okay, we now welcome on two very special guests and potentially a third. It is Thundor and Thunder Princess, fresh off winning the Western Conference Finals. I see Thundor. What? Thundor, I see you have the finals hat on right now. So
of course. I got to be repping this.
Yeah.
We're going to the finals.
So, all right. I guess congratulations. How you guys were there last night. How awesome was that?
It's unbelievable. I mean, the big question is, when are you going to come out to OKC and experience the arena for yourselves?
Listen, I would love to come put on the shirt.
I would put that shirt on so fast.
Yeah, I would absolutely put the shirt on. So you guys are in the finals. I guess can we get the backstory of how you guys became super fans? Because you guys are obviously super fans. Yeah,
we've been doing it. Thunder Princess, myself, Brickman. We've been doing it since the very first season. The Loves Corporation had a ultimate fan competition. And so we all started off as competitors trying to be the ultimate Thunder fan.
We were enemies.
And then we all became friends.
It's a beautiful story because ultimately you want the same thing. So you recognize that you're like, with our powers combined, we can actually get this to a good place with the team.
Once we both lost, that's when we became friends.
That's smart.
Wait, who won? Did Brickman win?
Nope. His name is Josh Newby. We call him Thunderhead. And he had a three-dimensional head of the logo. He actually went to the game when my uncle passed. He stepped in for me and was at the game.
Wow. Sorry about your uncle passing. So wait, does he hang out with you guys at the games, Thunderhead?
Yep.
Every time he comes to a game, yes. But he lives quite a bit south in a town called Ada. So he comes up as much as he can. Unfortunately, they don't let him bring the head in anymore. It's like, NBA rules and regulations. But
what?
No, he brought it.
He brought it?
We got it through.
Okay.
Keep it in with us. We can get you through. We can get you through.
All right. I love that.
I respect that. Thundor, I was reading a profile about you last week, and we were talking about you on the podcast. And
yes, I heard that. That was very nice. Thank you for giving me a shout out, talking about the body positivity, my social work things.
Yeah, it's a great story, and you seem like a good guy. So I just want to clarify, like, when you change into the Thundor outfit, are you still doing that at a gas station on the way to the arena?
If it's a regular season game and I'm like coming fresh off of work, I'll just take my shorts and socks and suspenders and I'll just run into a bathroom and I'll come out carrying my jeans. And so I'm sure everybody thinks I shit my pants, but I'm really just changing into Thundor,
Yeah, it's like Superman in his phone booth.
Exactly. You got stuff with the Loves, you get your change on, you go out, and then here comes Thundor.
What about you, Thunder Princess? How long is the get up take, and do you go straight from work sometimes to the game?
1,000 hours.
Okay, check your mouth. I actually live in Orlando now.
Oh.
So I've been flying back and forth to these games. I was a 13-year season ticket holder prior to moving in 2020. So the process does take a little longer. You gotta, beat the face. Rhinestones don't happen on the remote. He takes 5 seconds. I take maybe 2.5 hours, depending. But yeah, it does. It takes a little bit longer, especially when I have to fly.
Yeah, that's
but when I'm
dedication.
getting painted, it takes about a good 1.5 to 2 hours per paint job, depending on who the artist is, how detailed we're going to be, and everything like that. Like last night, we were cutting it up to to tip off of getting finished because we were painting it.
And that was not my fault.
And somebody took way longer at the house than they should have.
So when you come
I have to paint my face every day.
Yeah. When we're coming up with what we're putting on the chest and the belly, how often do we use the same slogans? How often do we change it up?
Oh my God. There is no repeat belly paint. Are you kidding me?
Bad question.
We gotta be original every time out the gate, always. So typically it kind of goes through a planning process. If I have an idea, I'll do a sketch, and then I'll send it to the group sometimes. Or if somebody feels like they're really motivated and they have the perfect idea, which to her credit, Nazi has had some good ones, we'll send it to the group chat. We'll get it talked about. We'll kind of iron it out. And then in the moment, we can have a perfect idea. But when we start painting, the idea changes, evolves, and becomes a whole new thing.
Yeah,
the main point of the sketch is it always has to have nipples, so we know where placement goes.
Yeah,
very important. Wait, how many people are in this group text?
9
Yeah,
currently.
there's 9 now.
Can we list them all? And their super fan names?
Okay, well, you got Matt, Matt's a former storm chaser.
The hype crew for the team.
Okay.
You got Devin, another former storm chaser. You got Josh Thunderhead, the winner of the Ultimate Fan Competition. You got Derek Brickman, Nazi Thunder Princess, Garrett Thundor. You got Arlen, who has done like 5 or 6 different alter egos throughout the years. You got Gary, which shout out to Gary. This is his first time to really don a costume. He's the Caruso lookalike in the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Do we have any sneak peeks of what the belly is going to look like in the finals? Because we're big Caruso fans, so anything Caruso themed, we're going to be automatically drawn to. I can tell you that.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like Gary being the Caruso lookalike now, he's more famous than I am. I mean, he gets all the love.
We walked into a bar last night and people were like, Caruso!
Is that everyone or is there anyone else?
And there's Thunder Rob. I was about to say, we're not going to forget Thunder Rob.
Can't forget Thunder Rob. Wait, Alan, did you say had multiple?
Harlan is he's done Thunder Doctor. He's done Chewbacca.
He's been a
Thunder
stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
He's done Thunder Claws. He's got alter egos for days.
Oh, fuck. What is he doing right now?
He's Thunder Doctor because he's a doctor in real
He's a
life.
real doctor.
Oh, God.
He's a neonatologist.
What? Wait,
awesome.
a neonatologist?
Yeah. We have a rocket scientist, a neonatologist, a social care worker. I wait tables. But we got all spectrums here of smarts and talents, and we definitely showcase that on and off the court, essentially.
I love
That's a
it.
group for sure.
It's incredible. And what's Brickman? What does he do by day?
He's a rocket scientist.
That's awesome.
He's also like the most extreme guy you're going to meet. He is a genius, and he is also called Uncle Mental when he does his bike races. The dude rode his mountain bike through the Iditarod Trail in Alaska.
What?
Frozen beard, like icicles and coming out of his nose, everything. It was insane.
You guys have actual superheroes as super fans.
This is
It's
awesome.
pretty crazy. So what do you guys do during games? Or do you have a thing that you're known for during the games, like jinxing the foul shooter, yelling at the opposing coach? What's your bread and butter?
So for like the playoffs, I work both sides. So I'll go to the opposing, like they're not going to get away from me in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm going to heckle you for the full 48 minutes.
94 feet, yep.
Yep. And so, I run down the stairs. I give them I get the belly shakes going on, whatever I can do to get their attention. And then once they lock eyes with me, that's when I know I have them. If I can get them to smirk, laugh, take a second to squint to see what the hell are they looking at, next thing you know, they're missing a free throw. And that one missed free throw could change the game.
It can change
now,
the
does it
world.
happen very often? No. There's a small percentage chance. But the fact that there's a chance that I can impact a game, I'm going to take that and run with it.
I love that. So is there a moment that you remember where you're like, yep, that's a win for Thundor. He got him.
Oh, tons. Yeah. Damian Wilkins, former Thunder player, was playing for the Hawks on New Year's Eve. I had like glitter firework paint jobs on my moves. I had a ball that I would drop up and down during the free throws. Damian Wilkins straight up doubles over in laughter. And the very next free throw he misses.
Oh, love it.
Earlier, probably the most recent one that I've gotten to is Paulo Banchero, because I had like a Chet versus Paulo paint job going on. And you see him kind of lean forward trying to read the belly. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then he goes to shoot the free throw. Miss. I think you guys referenced it during one of your podcasts. Chris Kaman was the first person I ever heckled. And I was 22. I was nervous. It was my first time being Thundor. And I did not stop. I heckled him when he was on the bench. I heckled him when he was shooting free throws. He threw a towel over his head. I was calling him Chris Caveman. That's probably like the most personal attack I've ever given somebody.
That's a personal attack. Yeah.
I try to keep it PG. I try to do just more of the sounds, getting the attention, doing the distractions. But, my apologies, Chris Kaman, for all the missed free throws that you may have experienced. kudos to you for being an
Yeah.
NBA player and a guy.
What about you, Thunder Princess? What do you do during the game to get into the players' heads?
When I was full time, not in partial retirement, I would run down there with Garrett every time, and we would switch which side of the goal we'd be standing on. Like he'd be on the left side, I'd be on the right side, then we switch. I did a lot of turning around, and I would do booty shaking. I always yell, "Miss it, brick it." I have a real high pitched scream, which is to my advantage in this situation. One time, I actually painted my belly too, and it just say "miss" on the front, and I had it on my back. So when I pulled my shirt up, it was like "miss," and then I would be like shake my booty, and it said "it." So
Like now that we're in the finals here, are we like the stakes are getting up there? Are you guys?
Yeah.
Do you guys have some plays that you've held back for like, hey, if we go deep here, this is going to be
We've tried. Okay, here's the problem, guys. I'll be honest. We've tried doing choreographed dancing because Nazi is a dancer. I am not. So that's
Every
kind of
once in a while,
out
people
there.
do.
I'll lose the movement. I'll forget what I'm doing. But the finals, I do have a secret weapon. His name is Chase Dryden, and he is one of the best belly artists known to man.
Oh,
He is awesome.
look at this!
Oh,
Wow!
Yeah.
Oh my
and
god!
that's gonna
Chase
be a
in the
problem.
picture. And then, that's one of his very detailed. I mean, he's a very, again, talented artist. We have just talent all over the place here.
And so actually the Firehouse Art Gallery in Norman, Oklahoma, they actually did an art show that was called Thundor, the art of Chase Dryden. And so we had all of these belly arts that Chase had done, and they had them mounted all along the wall, and it was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
I don't know that Indiana or New York can prepare for this.
Oh, I know. And I look forward. I would like to, welcome any Indiana or New York Knicks fans to come to Oklahoma City. Come hang out with us. Let's be friendly. I want to win, sure, but I want to meet some others. I know I'm not the only weirdo out there. I welcome your weird. Come get weird with me. Let's live our weird together while we cheer on our teams in the finals.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So, tell me about your origin stories as Superfans. How did you get into becoming Superfans?
Mine is going to be different. Prior to the Oklahoma City Thunder arriving in 2008, I was not a sports fan. I didn't do OU, OSU. We did not have a pro team. And in my mind, I never understood being a diehard fan of a city you don't live in or have any connection to. Of course, everyone was a Dallas fan if you live in Oklahoma because it's the closest or whatever. But I was just like, psh. Even when the Hornets came and they spent their 2 years here, I didn't get attached because they're going to leave. What's the point? Then we got the Thunder, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go to opening night. The mayor's waving the flag. It looks great. And for the first time, I truly felt like our city came together as one. It wasn't OU or OSU. It was everybody in Thunder Blue, and it was amazing. And in that moment, I was like, I love this. I saw the advertisement for the Love's Ultimate Thunder Fan. I waited, I think, almost into the very last week to enter. And at that time, there was only one other female, and I wanted to be the most over-the-top girly entity. So that's where Thunder Princess came into play. I have all my jerseys are custom glittered. It says 85. That's my birthday. I'm a little older, and so I got my big tiara, tutu. I used to wear heels every single game. I am too old for that now, but I wanted to be just this girly, entity that other little girls and girls could look up to and be like, yeah, being a sports fan isn't just for the boys. So that's kind of how I fell into it. And then through the competition, met my bestie.
And, I saw the ad as well. I luckily had bought a $5 knockoff Nacho Libre costume just days earlier before the season started. So after that very first game, by the next game, I'm getting all thundored up. I took that jumpsuit. I had my friend, who I'm friends with a lot of artists. I went to a university called USAO, the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma. And so I'm just around all these gifted artists. So I had my friend make a logo on the chest piece. Another one of my friends who was a cheerleader, I took his megaphone, I wrapped it up in blue and orange tape. And then I just went and got wild and crazy. Yeah. So And now, being Thundor, getting my belly painted pretty regularly, it's just my way to kind of give back, to support local artists, put themselves out there, get their names out there. Again, Chase Dryden, great tattoo artist, great friend.
Yeah.
And are there any other super fans in the NBA that you have to take your hat off to and say, hey, game, respect, game, you're doing a great job too?
So absolutely. So I've been wanting to go to all the other arenas and meet all their super fans. Now, I'm not made of money, so that's really hard to get to do. But I did have Spurs Jesus reach out to me in San Antonio. And so during rivalry week last year, I got to go out there. We got to, shoot the shit, hang out, have a great time. He did my belly paint for the game.
Oh, wow.
And we just went and had ourselves a really good time. Thunder, of course, won. So that made it that much sweeter. But it was still, he's a friend now who, when the Thunder won the game last night, he's one of the first people texting me saying, congrats, big man, on going to the finals. So
I love it.
So I dig that. I love that. And that's why I welcome, whether it's the Pacers or the Knicks, come on, super fans, let's come hang out. Let's kick it in Oklahoma. I'll go to your place. We'll have a good time. Let's do this.
Yeah. All right, I got the toughest question I'm going to ask you guys. You might know that it's coming, but we've been talking about how great it is watching these games in Oklahoma City because of the T-shirts, and everyone puts on the T-shirt. Obviously, you've probably heard about Juan Guerra doesn't put on the T-shirt. I'm not trying to divide Thunder fans, but the guy's got to put on the T-shirt.
Oh, no, we're winning. Big Cat, we're winning. So whatever shirt he wants to wear, whether he wants to wear a tutu, whether he wants to come in his birthday suit, I don't care. As long as the Thunder are winning. But I will say, the way I fan up isn't the way you're going to fan up. Isn't the way Juan's going to fan up. We can all fan in our own ways. The biggest thing is we're having a good time and we're there to support the team and win.
Okay. He's just a different kind of super. He's different shirt guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, different
shirt guy.
The super fan. Yeah.
But hey.
And he's a nice guy. We've talked to him, and I've even said maybe for me, just wear something with Thunder on it. It doesn't have to be the color or the shirt, just anything Thunder, because that's also what's super important. Over the course of these playoffs and these conference finals, when you look into the crowd of the other team, genuinely, you don't know why those people are even in the building because they're so, especially the Denver series, I felt like nobody was wearing Denver Nuggets stuff. And it's like, why are you not supporting your team? You paid the money to enter the door. Why not, flash?
Yeah.
I can't explain to you, as someone I lived in Oklahoma for 35 years before I moved to Orlando. Seeing Oklahoma on anything is incredible to me. And now when I see Thunder fans in the wild, like anywhere outside the city or Oklahoma, I approach every single person. And I just think, why not wear it? Why not represent? It thrills me to wear something that says Oklahoma City and OKC every single time. I yell at every person about it. Go Thunder. Glad to see you out in the wild, fellow Okie, whatever. Even if they're not from Oklahoma, it's just great to see that representation all around. And if you're not going to wear it in the arena, when are you going to wear it?
Yeah, good point.
As you should.
Good point.
So congratulations. I can't help but root for you guys.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get caught up in the action. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your postseason. And I guess
the Thunder are relentless. They're inevitable. They just got 4 more wins to hang that banner, baby.
Yeah, you guys are what makes sports fun. We love super fans.
So my last question was going to be, who do you guys have winning the NBA Finals?
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay, all right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be OKC, maybe.
I have one last question. I know you said Brickman was on a call. Can we just see him? Is he on the call with the Brickman outfit on?
Let me go get him.
Yeah. Well, let's see if you have him down.
The rocket scientist Brickman. Just even if he stays on the phone, if you could just poke his head in, I just want to see Brickman.
He is here. We had a big Thunder fan sleepover last night over here at my house.
Love it. I mean, that's a hell of a night to win. Oh no,
he's leading the meeting and he can't walk away.
Oh, is he leading it with that Brickman head on?
No.
Oh,
do you want? I can show you the brick though. I can hoist it up and show you.
In his honor.
Yeah. I'd like to see the brick.
I'd like to see the brick. I'd like to see the brick. It'd be nice.
It's probably a pretty important work call if you're heading a meeting as a rocket scientist.
Yeah. It's a lot of math involved. Anything I hear. So
when is Thunder Princess's birthday?
It is going to be September. She's going to turn 40 this year. All
right,
She's
yeah.
already made a big deal about it, I promise.
Yeah, don't worry. Hey, Thunder Princess. Oh, look at that. There's the brick. There's the brick. Thunder Princess, we're 85 babies as well, so don't
Oh,
worry.
perfect.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm September 5th, so.
Yeah, we're in
Yeah, me
January.
too. I'll be 40 in July.
Oh, okay. Look at us. Just a bunch of 85 babies fucking crushing life. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we really are living the time of our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, I Thunder as much as I can. I live 8 minutes from Epcot, so I just opened Epic Universe last week, and I theme park all the time. And it's this environment, it's people like this that helped support what I am today. I mean, you don't get this eccentric by being boring and living a boring life. So we've just made sure that no matter what we do, it's just at top levels.
Yeah.
We go hard for everything.
Kids, it's okay to be weird.
Yeah,
and
be
anyone,
weird.
and if you're enthusiastic about anything in life, I think you're an interesting person. I love that. Like, it's just cool to be like, hey, this is my passion. So you guys are the best. We'll have you back on if you win the championship. All right.
Not if.
Sounds great.
Win.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe if.
win.
Okay.
I
If
love
I
it.
have my
love it.
royal ways, it's
Yeah.
a win.
All right.
I love the confidence.
All right. We will have you back on when you win the championship.
And maybe we'll see you on the float in the parade afterwards.
yes.
Or just come to OKC.
Might have
Yeah,
to do
that's
that.
true. Good
We have an extra spot if you wanna somewhere to crash.
Okay. All right.
You're making a
Appreciate
great
that.
case for this. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, take
Thank
care.
you.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Okay, Hot Seat Cool Throne is brought to you by our friends at Body Armor. This segment is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. Body Armor has great tasting flavors like strawberry banana and orange mango with no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners. In a bold new look with the same great taste, get your Body Armor today at Walmart or a local grocery store near you. Body Armor, choose better. We love Body Armor. Drinking it all the time. Hank, Hot Seat Cool Throne. We're probably going to talk about a lot of stuff in these Hot Seat Cool Thrones.
Yeah, I got a few.
Okay.
My first one is idiots that get fooled by clearly fake AI internet videos.
Well, that was gonna be my. Oh, okay, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I was thinking of something else because you finished with
idiots.
AI.
You heard
that was
idiots
my Fyre
and-
Fest.
and-
yeah, I am an idiot.
Did you guys see the kangaroo trying to get on the plane?
I did
Yes.
see that. Yeah.
A lot of people got fooled by it.
Did you?
The emo-
Yep.
Wait. The
I didn't tweet it though.
It was the emotional support kangaroo.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
emotional.
Yeah.
The video said, like breaking, like emotional support kangaroo not allowed on plane, and there was a video of a woman fighting with the agent at like trying to board the plane with a kangaroo.
Yep.
Standing next to her, holding the boarding pass.
Was this in
very
Australia?
cute? Very cute. I think it was.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well, no, it was nowhere.
Yeah, but was it supposed to be Australia?
It didn't exist.
Now, was this AI or was this a video that was shot in one of those fake airports or fake planes that you can rent out to shoot videos on?
The kangaroo was not there.
No,
there was no.
this is AI.
There was no. Yeah, there was no real
It's all
kangaroo.
AI.
Yeah, I saw emotional support kangaroo and I looked at the kangaroo. I was like, that's cute. I'm going to keep it moving. No chance this is real.
Yeah, the kangaroo just quietly standing there, just staring right into the camera, not doing anything that a wild animal would do.
I've got my
'cause it's
ticket right
emotional
here for my
support.
737 ticket.
Right, emotional support. You forgot that part.
I'm an emotional support kangaroo.
And he's holding the ticket, a paper ticket, old school.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he likes to get some ink under his fingers. This might be a sequel, Kangaroo Hijack.
But this one, a lot of people got fooled by, like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's tough. I felt their pain.
I had a thought the other day about AI. I think you remember when they made
Statues too small.
No, you remember when they made the hands all fucked up, and that's how you can tell that it's an AI video.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they did that on purpose so that people would be cool with AI because we're like, oh, well, it's gonna be so easy to tell what AI generated videos are or pictures because the hands have 9 fingers or they're melded together and they look like wax that's melted. I think they did that intentionally so we would be cool with AI, knowing that we could tell the difference. And then in reality, they just delete that line of code and they're like, okay, hands are perfect now.
Yeah.
Now we've got full, because you can make anything in AI. Don't tell me that you couldn't make a hand look normal.
Yeah, I mean, we're fucked. Everyone's we're totally fucked. The only optimistic take that I have for it is that if everything becomes fake, face-to-face interactions become like gold, and maybe people will start ditching their phones and like having those. You know,
That's a good
like
take.
if you can't tell what's real and fake online, you're gonna eventually just be like, this is exhausting. I'm just going to talk to people.
How is that good for us?
Not us.
Not us.
You said us.
Well,
For
the
humanity.
royal us.
Oh, got it.
This
world.
This is why you invest in my KO AI app.
Yeah.
That knocks out AI.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. We're fucked. Everyone's fucked. I'm just saying, in like 15 years, when we get on the other end of being fucked, maybe there'll be a good thing. But it feels like we're fucked. And I don't even believe this. I'm just trying to give you one little sliver of optimism.
I mean, it is kind of nice. What's the longest that you've gone without looking at your phone in like the last week? Being awake.
Probably like 4.5 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right, Hank.
My phone's charging on my desk right now. I've been thinking about it ever since I sat down.
Yeah.
Yeah, thinking about your phone.
Yeah.
What it's up to without you.
I go like an hour at home. I put my phone down when I get home first with like my kids. But yeah.
I did a bunch of chores around my house the other day. Took me about 2 hours. And that 2 hours, I felt great even though I was just doing chores.
Yeah.
Like the shittiest chores, picking up dog poop.
It's usually exactly what Max is describing, because that happened to me last Sunday or whatever. It's like when your phone is out of battery and you have to do something else, so you have to plug it in and walk away.
Yeah.
That's it.
The kangaroo was cute though.
Yeah, very cute. Hank, what other hot seats you got?
I'm actually changing it to a cool throne.
Oh.
Okay.
Stefon Diggs.
Oh.
Cool throne.
Why? All right, like it.
Because he was in Miami partying, bunch of chicks, had like 3 girls, literally calling him daddy, hugging him. There's another video where they're grinding on him, slapping their ass. He's dating Cardi B. Cardi B was on the boat. People are like, oh, Stefon Diggs caught. Like Cardi B was cool with this behavior.
Was she cool with it?
Yeah, she was on the boat. She's like in the videos. She's
on the boat,
twerking on him.
I saw a quote from Cardi B about that though. She said
AI.
He should know. He should know better. The fact that he didn't realize what was going on around him is embarrassing, and she is mad at him. Or I guess that was a quote from somebody close to Cardi B. Cardi has her fair share of relationship issues. She doesn't want it to continue with Stefon. Now that the video went viral, she's frustrated with him that he would allow that to happen.
Can I say something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Cardi B being mad at you is kind of hot.
Yeah.
Very.
That is very hot.
So one of the other things in this article was she wishes he wouldn't be a scumbag. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Cardi B does. She does not wish that her boyfriend is a
like
scumbag.
a known again, and to me, it's like this is what you want. We talk about it. You want diva wide receivers. You want this is wide receiver 1 behavior.
Hank, what was in the thing he was holding?
It was a pink substance.
Okay.
They're calling it Tusi.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
I do.
I think it's like cocaine and Molly and some combination of that. I think it's like a sex drug.
I'm not a drug guy, but I did go to Panama City one time.
Oh yeah.
And if you're going to be don't do drugs. If you're going to be addicted to any substance, I can absolutely 100% see why it would be 2C and it would be awesome.
2C.
Or maybe it was just cocaine for breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, or pixie dust. The sugar?
Could have been sugar.
Yeah.
We don't know what was
Pixie sticks.
6.
But he
Pixie
looked
dust,
excited to
definitely
be
a drug.
passing it out, and she looked excited to be getting it.
We don't know what that is. What is Vrabel upset?
Vrabel was upset. He was like, we expect, Patriots plays. But he was at minicamp the next day. And that's where it's like, I think, I don't know, maybe it's like a little, come on, Stefon, don't get filmed.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. This is the type of shit.
But as long as he can perform, it's like people were talking about Michael Irvin. Like this is not new behavior for a wide receiver in the offseason.
I can definitely see Vrabel being like, yeah, the last year was pretty sweet not having to answer questions like that. It's
Michael
pretty
Irvin,
good.
the Super Bowl winner?
Yeah.
3-time?
Yeah. But he was at camp the next day working out.
Okay.
So
you think it's more like don't do you think it's more come on, don't do that.
It's
not
like, hey, like
come on, don't do that.
It's like don't let be aware of the phones.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really the problem here.
Like
it's the
if
phones.
you don't get filmed, I don't have to answer about it, and we got no issues.
And whatever's in that bag can just keep being in that bag.
I don't. It's partially the
Vrabel's
phone.
a play. He knows how it goes.
It's partially the phone, but it's also partially not him. It's him not caring that there was a phone there. I think he knew the phone was there. I think he knew it was being recorded.
Yeah.
And
he did look like a boss.
Yeah, and I think he was just like, oh, whatever, this is fine. That is more concerning to me than if somebody like across the boat is zooming in on the alleged 2C, and you don't notice it. That's a problem too. But
I also
like
think
knowing the camera was there and being like, "Yeah, they call me daddy. What's
Yeah.
up? Put this online."
I think Vrabel would like citizens arrest someone if they pulled out Tusi with him. Take him down right there.
Listen, don't knock it till you try it. That's all I'm gonna say.
If it was,
If it was,
who knows what it is? Is that your hot seat cool down?
I have another cool throw.
Yeah, go.
Assuming one of you is going to do it.
No,
though.
go for it.
Charlie Woods.
Yeah. I didn't have it.
He won a tournament, a stacked tournament. Other best amateurs in the world. He won handily. He won by 3 strokes.
What a
I
beast.
think it was like a tailor-made invitational or something. But
future.
Miles Russell, who's like actually, probably the best young golfer going. He made a couple cuts. I think he made a cut or like finished top 5 on the Korn Ferry. I think he might have made a cut on a PGA Tour event. Stud, and Charlie Woods smoked him. So that's that's actually legitimately like this is a big win for him.
I saw he had one. Was it the day before? He had a hilarious scorecard where I think
That was the first day. He had like 2 pars, and everything else was.
And the 2 pars were par 3s.
Yeah.
So everything else was either like an eagle, birdie, or double bogey.
He was like 2 under. Yeah, he was 2 under with 2 pars.
Yeah.
it's safe to say the future is now in golf, and his name is Charlie Woods. Forget about the Live Tour. Forget about the PGA. Charlie and Tiger could start their own tour.
I'd watch it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Good job, Hank.
Thank you.
Stay with us.
Miles Russell made PGA Tour debut at 15, youngest player to make the Korn Ferry cut, and he played in a PGA event, did not make the cut, but legit, and Charlie Woods smoked him.
Charlie Woods over under 5.5 career majors.
Over. Smash.
Easy.
Smash it.
Easy. Scotty, you better win now.
Yep. Clock's ticking, buddy.
Chucky's coming.
PFT, your hot seat tour.
My hot seat is me and Big Cat. We're
Stones?
firmly on the hot seat. No, Stones are great. Why do you all automatically jump to the kidney stone?
We're the model of health. I've been lifting again.
I've been drinking a lot of water. Our penises are great.
That's usually what precedes it.
So, yeah, we're on the hot seat because we have been blocked online by Rebecca Romaine O'Connell. And I didn't see it coming. I don't know what we did. I actually checked my DMs.
I know what you did.
Yeah, we know what we did.
I checked my DMs. I didn't hit send on the DM because I'm a good guy.
What about the words you said on this podcast?
That's what we did.
Well, that's not a DM. That's not. She doesn't listen to this podcast.
It's unfair that she
got
used
clipped.
the podcast against us. That's not fair.
It got clipped and posted online.
These are international waters, Rebecca.
It was satire.
What were you going to say, Max?
I disagree. I think that you should respect her and all women in every facet of medium.
In every facet of medium. Are you saying she's a medium?
No, like a
Like
medium.
a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10?
Wrong.
I think.
Okay.
Like this is a medium. Is that that's the right word? I think the way I got
podcast-
there was wrong, but I ended up landing the plane. I think.
Well, the bottom line
Every
is,
facet of media.
I think it's a little bit unfair. We haven't met, and I think that's the only way that you can really get to know somebody.
Well, you're not counting dreams.
Is to look at not dreams, but
We haven't met in real life.
in real life, and the only way you can really judge a person's character if you stare deeply into their eyes
and heart.
and heart
And heart.
and maintain that eye contact for a period of time until you've sufficiently been able to fall in love with them. And I just think that she's not giving us a fair shake.
Yeah, so there's theories out there. Maybe when I said that she was hitting on me, when PFT you said you wanted her phone number, someone threw out the theory that she is so attracted to us, she had to block us because she doesn't want to break up her marriage.
That's a good call.
I did DM her. It was all respectful. I sent the DMs to Jerry because I was like, hey, you're accusing me of something I didn't do. Here's my entire DMs to her. I said, big fan, hope you're well, all due respect. That's pretty nice, right?
That's great.
She wrote back, keep it clean. I am serious. You have this Bing Bong idiot running around the house. That's talking about her husband, Jerry O'Connell, making stupid videos all the time, all while our driveway is rubble. Don't make me block you, Bing Bong. And I said, nothing but respect. But also, when we win fantasy this year, the driveway will be fixed. That's a guarantee. That's our entire correspondence.
I don't get it.
She followed Max.
And she followed Max. But that felt, you know what? That feels.
Oh, shit.
What?
I forgot I said I would crawl through a mile of glass if I could just bottle one of her farts. I didn't actually say that. That was a prank.
I
did
think
not say
about it,
that.
the fact that she followed Max tells me she's just doing that to try to get at us.
Yeah. She's trying to make us jealous.
Like, that's kind of flirting. That's the most flirting that any of us have done with each other is her following Max.
She's putting gum in our hair.
Yeah. Okay, I get
Teasing
it.
us.
I'll play that game.
Ah, that's good. That's a good game.
It's kind of that's how
good
our relationship
game,
is.
Rebecca.
We tease.
You gonna DM her, Max?
Absolutely not.
Let's
Keep it
workshop
clean.
one right now.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, you can keep it clean.
No DMs. I said no DMs.
I kept it clean on the DMs.
No
when she
Hamas.
Obviously not.
No,
She
no, no, no.
blocked you.
She didn't block me.
Is
I
she
DM'd
Hamas?
her. I DM'd her.
I want to be able to follow her content.
I DM'd her 2 weeks ago. She didn't block us until we said that stuff on the podcast, which again shouldn't be used against
That was
us.
just playfulness.
And that's just like guys talking.
Yeah, we're just playing around. This is how we flirt. Not flirt. We were not flirting, but it sounds like she's flirting with. It's like the president of France's wife, just to give him a little shove in the face.
Yeah, shove in the face.
That's what she's doing to us. We're
Yeah.
just very, very happy together.
I said absolutely no DMs.
Max.
I'm a man of my word.
Max.
I am a man of my word.
This is just us doing the podcast now.
Yep.
You gonna hit?
Hit what?
No,
What is that? I don't even know what you're referring to.
no.
I was talking about softball.
Yeah.
We have
no.
a game next week. Are you gonna hit?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I'm gonna try my best playing softball.
So to smash.
I'm trying to focus on
Okay.
respect
Okay.
over here.
No, we're
So
talking about softball. Do you think you're going to get to third base?
in softball.
Yeah.
Memes.
Yeah. What
Max
were you
is a
thinking?
long singles guy.
Memes, make a quote card that says Max confirmed gonna hit.
No, this is a lie.
While
This
talking
is
about
fake, this is
softball,
fake
which
news
is-
media right here.
We're being such cock blocks.
Listen, I'm just trying to be respectful. Not everyone on this show is respectful. I am absolutely no DMs. I said absolutely no DMs. I said I was going to keep it clean. I'm over here keeping it clean.
What if she's though? Just throwing this out there. What if she kind of wants you to DM her, and now you're not?
I am a man of my word. Keeping it clean, absolutely no DMs.
Okay.
Would you accept a DM from her?
Would you read a DM from her?
Would you reply to a DM from her? 'Cause then
No, I would not. Would
Would you read it with
that
your
would be
eyes?
disrespectful. That's you
but
said you
but
focus
it's
on
absolutely
respect.
no DMs.
If a woman
Well, then you should block her to make sure that there's no DM.
Yeah.
Because I
blocking her would be a power move.
Yeah.
That
what?
would be. You know what? It'd be a down with the boys. We'll go
Yeah.
get some pizza together. Fucking put on a movie. We'll put on. You know what? We'll put on.
I mean, Hank's not even in the mix on this one.
Why don't you block her? We'll go get a pizza. We'll put on some Sam Huffy highlights, and we'll fucking chill. The boys. Do you down with the boys?
I'm gonna stay unblocked.
Wow, Max isn't down with the boys.
You should block her. You really should.
Dude.
Nope.
You should block all women.
Damn.
If you really respected them.
Damn.
I
Max.
respect their content.
You're not down with the boys.
What's your favorite piece of content that she's put out?
On X, everything on X, the Everything app, everything's happening on X.
You gonna answer the question?
Probably her blocking you guys is my favorite content. I would have missed that.
What's your favorite movie or TV show she's been in?
X-Men,
Librarians.
Okay.
Librarian.
The original?
All right.
Yep.
Fine. Hey, you know what? He passed the test. He's a Rebecca Romaine fan. We like Rebecca Romaine. We'd love to have her on the show.
Absolutely.
Respectfully. Be awesome.
People are also making fun of me because I spelled roll ROLL and that.
Oh yeah. 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 Thinking about bread.
Yeah, no.
I'm not in a place to judge right
Yeah.
I'm gonna get her back.
now. Yeah.
The only way I know.
I probably am not. But
I also spent so much time on this tweet too. I proofread it like 3 times.
You
and
and-
I still spelled roll wrong.
You indented your paragraph.
Yeah.
Correct. I
I've never seen that on Twitter.
I thought it was respectful to do that.
You put an indent.
they're really
Thank you.
respectful.
Yeah,
Really
no.
respectful.
I read it out. I read it out loud to my girlfriend. This tweet.
You MLA,
And she
you
was like-
MLA
she was like,
formatted
I
a
think,
tweet.
She was like, I think that sounds good.
Max thought Indante was how he liked his pasta cooked.
All right. You cool, Tor?
Hey, my cool throne is me and Big Cat.
Yeah.
Cool throne is me and Big Cat because, man, I've been watching some baseball in the last week, and there are some absolutely filthy left-handed home run hitters in this next generation that I think that all the kids are excited about seeing guys like Ellie De La Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
All the kids are excited about seeing guys like James Wood from the Nationals that's just mashing left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally cannot wait for this year's All-Star game because for the kids,
Mm-hmm.
the next generation of superstars is here.
What about PCA?
And PCA. These are all guys. And you know what? Maybe a veteran gets tossed in there from the lefty side, Schwarber. Put him in
Bryce Harper.
Probably mostly just Schwarber.
Kyle Tucker?
Yeah.
Why not?
They usually just do one player from each team, right?
Yeah,
in the home run derby.
true.
So I think that the future is bright for left-handed superstars in Major League Baseball.
It is.
And I'm just excited.
They should actually do like I can't remember what the competition is called. Whatever, it's escaping me, but it's like one of the ones where they get everyone just like hit over and over at the All-Star weekend. They should do that 25 and under.
Yeah, phenoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, the phenoms, the showcase.
It's like some kind of, I don't know. It's like who can hit the most over the fence. Can't remember.
Oh yeah, the it's
Futures game?
No. It's like a
Celebrity
one
softball?
person goes up and they try to hit it over the fence, and the next person goes up.
I think I just mentioned it a
25
second
and
ago,
under.
but I'm forgetting what it's called again.
Yeah.
Or
maybe just
the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, that's it.
The Kentucky Derby and at the All-Star break.
Maybe just lefties have to be 25 and under.
Yeah, true.
That's fine.
But yeah, these guys are absolutely raking. So the future is bright.
Future is bright, very bright. Okay, my hot seat. I want to throw a take out there. We could even call it my future take of the year. I'm just gonna throw it out there. We'll do it on the takies, but I'll just get ahead of this one. I think NBA free agency comes around in July.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is going to be an announcement. This will be LeBron James last year, and he's going to make us suffer through an entire year-long
He opted in,
thing.
scumbag.
This is going to be
Scumbag
He might even
piece of shit.
He opted in, so he might
He
even
opted in for $52 million. He's a billionaire.
He might even do it. He might even do it during the NBA Finals. I actually wouldn't be shocked if he does it during the NBA Finals.
So why is he a scumbag for opting in?
Because he has so much money and he's basically screwing his team for next year when he could have just signed a much more team-friendly deal and actually gotten players that could help them win. He does not need. He's not even good enough. He's not good enough for $52 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
He could have signed for 30. He's not going to miss the extra $20 million.
I didn't realize
they
he
could
opted
use
in.
the $20 million to actually make their team better, but he doesn't care about that because he's a selfish piece of shit.
Hank, I respect the take. I love it. But it's also hard to tell somebody, hey, you should just not make $30 million.
Yeah, but him.
But do you want to win?
You want to win.
Like,
do you want to win?
It's
Brady.
What'd Brady do?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it took pay cut.
I know.
I was helping you out there.
No, I know. I was trying to get you to explain.
Oh, got it. I thought you were attacking.
No.
I think it's coming. I think it's happening. It's happening soon. He's going to announce it. It's going to be a whole thing. Yeah, I think it's happening.
It's definitely happening during the finals.
Like, it's all relative.
Yeah,
like
the finals.
it's hard to turn on
finals.
$20 million, but like sometimes you get given, $2,000 free bet, and you're like, I'm just going to give it to the producers because like that
is true. Good point.
Relative to everything, like $2,000 is not as big to you, so you're like, yeah, I'll pay it forward. I
We
want
take
to
care
help
of
the
our
guys.
boys.
Yes.
This year's All-Star game in LA, I think it's going to be. It's technically the Clippers All-Star game, but it's in LA.
He can have that moved.
All the stars. This is going to be it. He's going to. Now I didn't know he opted in. It's going to be. Maybe during the finals, try to take it. That's my future take of the year.
The only thing I could think that would happen would be he does this last year. It's a 1 year opt-in.
Yeah.
Yes. And then he goes back to Cleveland at the end. I could see him doing that too.
Maybe. But that's gonna be it's gonna be a long year. Yeah. It's gonna be a long year. All right, my cool
What
throne.
about Bryce? You don't think he wants to pay
Bryce. I don't know if Bryce is good enough. What are you gonna say, Max?
Does that matter?
Bryce Harper?
No.
Bryce
Maximus.
his other son.
I got a couple cool thrones. The first is Max,
Homa?
the Sixers. Oh yeah, Max Homa's back, fully back. Did you see? So the rehearsals obviously been going around. Great show, Nathan Fielder. Did you see that?
I haven't watched the show.
Okay, this isn't about that. Well, it is. It's about the first season. I guess second season as well. Someone on the Sixers Reddit said the Sixers should do the rehearsal with Ben Simmons So here's what the person wrote. Was thinking about what a strange career Ben Simmons has had, and if there's any chance he turns back into the player he once was. I also been watching The Rehearsal on HBO with Nathan Fielder, and in the show he creates mock situations for people to overcome their fears. This often includes hiring actors, building full sets. The current season revolves around airplane pilots. What if the Sixers did this with Ben? We bring Ben back and build a mock Wells Fargo Center full with paid actor fans, actors as commentators, refs, and players. Then we have Ben make the infamous passed up dunk on the Hawks actors and overcome his fear.
That's not a bad idea.
Then boom, we get all-star Ben again, still in his prime at age 28.
That's not a bad idea.
It's a pretty good
Nathan
idea.
Fielder could pull this off.
I think he might be back if they could get him to do it.
1,000,000%.
One problem.
What?
I think he hates Philadelphia. Philadelphia hates him.
But that's
But this
the
is a
whole
way
point.
to heal.
He makes the dunk, and then everyone's like, "Holy shit, the Sixers! Ben Simmons did it."
I think since it's a two-way problem, it's not just Ben Simmons' problem because the city is not in a good place with him. Nathan needs to also have a Ben Simmons lookalike that just walks around town all the time until he gets like 100% happiness. So you guys have to put in the work too.
I have something to say.
What?
I feel like this is like a relationship where like it was a really, really, really toxic, bad relationship as it was going on.
But it was fun.
But
And
it
then-
was so hot.
And then you broke up, and then like years later,
You're
like
thinking about her.
neither person is really finding happiness in their new relationships. So they're like, let me maybe go back to that really bad toxic one, and then that like never actually works.
Are you
Does
talking
it?
about you and Rebecca Romaine?
I'm not talking about me and Rebecca Romaine. Me and that is a friend of mine, and I respect her work.
I feel like it has worked though in the past.
I feel like that doesn't work.
I think he might be right that it doesn't really work.
Yeah, but it might this time.
But like Philadelphia hated Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons hated Philadelphia, and there were some
Who
very
started?
mean
Max,
things.
be honest with me.
Me.
Be honest.
I started it.
Who started it?
Philly fans.
The fans did.
He was very honest about
We
that.
were the fans were very, very mean to Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is there anything that you would take back?
No, he was a piece of shit for a lot of the things that he did.
But you said that you started.
Yeah, no,
Would you take
I'm
back
not,
starting it?
You only get to live life once.
I think you guys just need to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Have you
Say
tried that?
sorry. Is it too late to say I'm sorry?
I think it's too late to say that we're sorry.
Okay.
Instead, I hope
Yeah. Yeah, you're thinking
I
about
don't
it.
really have anything to say towards Ben Simmons. I don't want to say anything negative towards the man. I certainly don't want to say anything positive towards the man.
Okay. That's fair.
Fair?
But that's kind of progress.
If
No, that's progress
If
for
Ben
sure.
Simmons was on fire, would you pour water on him, put him out?
How much water?
You
Like,
have
could I-
full 2 buckets of water.
Am I having like a choice of like using that water for something else or putting it on him?
Yeah, you could drink it later if
It's-
you got thirsty.
Could I maybe like donate that water to someone in need?
No, all right.
Ben
Ben
Simmons.
Simmons on fire.
burning.
Yeah. Ben Simmons is on fire. You have 1 big pot of water. You also have a bunch of pasta, and that's the only way you can cook it.
And you're hungry.
And you're hungry. You're a hungry boy.
I could probably go. I could probably use half the water for. I would give him. I give him half a bucket and keep the other half for the pasta.
Okay, so which half of his body would you put out?
I would just. Probably his face. Keep,
Okay.
keep his face.
Nice. Keeps his face. All right, my other cool
This is
throne.
progress. This is good.
My other cool throne is Hank. And all the perverts like Hank because Sydney Sweeney is selling 5,000 bars of soap that contain drops of her own bathwater.
That's nice.
Brilliant marketing.
It is brilliant marketing.
You should DM her.
You should DM her.
I'll DM her again.
How much do they cost?
Wait, when was the last time we made you DM her?
Oh, no, that was J-Lo.
Oh. Yeah, that was you.
How much does a soap cost?
I don't know.
Is it up for auction?
It was smart marketing, though, because everyone obviously quote tweeted it instantly.
Yeah.
Like, I want it. So congrats, Hank.
So it's made with her bathwater.
The soap has a drop of her bathwater in it.
How long was she in the bath? Was there? I want to know more about this product. I want to know.
You need the stats?
I need the stats.
You're looking at the back of the card.
I am.
You want to see what the stats are on
has
the back of
has
the
the
card.
soap been graded?
Oh yeah, Ravel's gonna definitely get involved.
He's gonna do lines of it like it's Tusi.
Yeah.
How many Fyre Fest do you have?
What?
How many Fyre Fest do you have?
Did we miss one?
Why?
I thought you were going another way with perverts like Hank.
Oh, no. I only have one Fyre Fest.
Hank, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there another way that you might be a pervert?
No, like the way where
you
you're like
submit to a
Hank.
crime?
No, you're like Hank. No, like people, like me that hate. Like I thought you were going to talk about how the ice cream machine is just never going to go.
Oh no, that you could talk about that. Yeah, but it will.
What did you report on the show last week?
You know what? Because we're gonna do Fyre Fest with a member of the Cream team, so he can maybe answer some of this.
True.
All right, let's get to our interviews. We got Greg Olsen, we got Zach Lavine, and then on Fyre Fest we will have Zach from the Cream team, who also went to Indianapolis with memes for Game 4. So we'll get a recap of that as well. New PMTV coming out this afternoon. All right, let's get to Greg Olsen. Okay, before we get to Greg Olsen, we're brought to you by Truly, Truly Unruly Lemonade. Look at this. I got it right here. The punched up pineapple. Truly Unruly Lemonade combines the high alc fun of Truly Unruly with everyone's favorite lemonade. Lemonade let loose. 8% ABV, 100% delicious. 4 supercharged lemonade flavors. Bumpin' Blue Raz, OG Original Lemonade, punched up pineapple, and wild pink. Wild Pink's my personal favorite. We got him here. It's the official hard seltzer. Pardon my take. It's about to be summertime. It's about to be Truly Unruly Lemonade time. So go check it out. Level up your lemonade with Truly Unruly. We love Truly Unruly. Hank, what do you got there? You got the punched up pineapple?
I got the punched up pineapple. It's the best. It's my
Yes.
favorite Truly Unruly lemonade.
Yes. So
might-
you got it
permission?
as well. Permission.
Crack it.
Permission granted. Oh, that sound is so good.
Have a big sip. There you go.
We love Truly Unruly. We love the Truly Unruly lemonade. High alc fun of Truly Unruly with everyone's favorite lemonade. 8% ABV, 100% delicious. Go get your Truly Unruly lemonade today and level up your lemonade with Truly Unruly. We're also brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Game Time football is back. The 2025 NFL schedule is out. And the only place you should be getting your tickets is Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Hank, why don't you look up a game, week 1 game, just any week 1 game you're looking at. We're planning our football schedule with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets. Game Time makes scoring NFL tickets faster and easier. They have exclusive discounts, and you can find seats for as low as $100. The Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic NFL tickets on time and for the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you'll pay. We're looking at tickets. Hank, what do you got?
Listen, if you're a real football fiend, you're ready for ball to come back, you can go to the Commanders at Patriots. See the Lighthouse preseason game 1.
Oh.
And you can get in for under $50. I'm looking at tickets right now
that.
for $44.
Guess the spread on that. I got Patriots 2.5.
Game Time is the best.
Yeah.
Game Time is the best. We sent memes, which we'll get to a recap of their trip to Indianapolis during Fyre Fest. Knicks Pacers game. We use Game Time. So what are you waiting for? Go buy those Commanders Patriots week 1 of the preseason tickets now with Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PMT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game Time. Okay, here he is, our good friend, Greg Olsen. Okay, we now welcome on a very, 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 very special guest and also a very close friend. It is Emmy-winning, and Emmy-nominated again. It's Greg Olsen, our good friend. Greg, great to have you on. Tight End U is coming up again, June 23rd to 25th. I don't want to have this be the entire interview being us sucking your dick, although we do love you very much, and you've been ride or die since day one. But I would like to suck your dick for a little bit, if that's okay.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
We have all the time. It doesn't usually take that long.
Okay, all right. So Tight End U has started. The arrow pointing up for tight ends. You had our good friend George Kittle get a $19 million a year contract. I looked it up. 14 tight ends next year are making $10 million or more. And I believe this was the first year, I didn't go back like all the way to 50 years ago, but this is the first year that I could find that 2 tight ends were drafted in the top 14 of the NFL draft with Colson Loveland and Tyler Warren. Tight ends are on the up and up, and I think it's all credit to you guys at Tight End U.
Listen, I think it'd be impossible to not see the correlation, right? I think in the last 5 years, the position just continues to ascend. I think obviously from a financial standpoint, I think what I'm learning now is instead of us raising all this, we have all these sponsors paying for all these guys. I feel like these guys should kind of pay us back. I mean, we should get like a cut, like an agent fee.
Mm-hmm.
Tight End U should get an agent fee of every new contract signed post 2021, which was year 1 of TEU. Like, I feel like you pay your trainer, you pay your agent, you pay your marketing guy, your nutritionist, your chef, all these people that you say help elevate your career, yet we're paying the guys to elevate their career and don't get anything in return.
It's almost like you're being taken advantage
more.
of.
Yeah, you're right.
It feels a lot like that.
You do a great job of getting quarterbacks. A lot of times, like backup quarterbacks will come to TEU, and then they end up getting a chance to start, and then they get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darnold. I mean, do we get a cut of Darnold? He was at TEU last year. Do we get a cut of his check?
Right.
I would say absolutely. And then you also should you should get a cut of their check, and then you should also give money to any podcasts that have you guys on to talk about Tight End U.
That's like what is it, like Inception shit? That's like next level. Yeah, I think you got to just continue to pay the machine down the pipeline because without the base, like without people like you putting this out there is no $19 million contract by George Kittle because there is no TEU, there is no lessons, there is no improvement because no one knows about the event. There's no Bud Light, there's no Dude Wipes, there's no Jersey Mike's, there's no New Era, there's no sponsors. It all goes hand in hand.
I would say that there's no tight end.
Yeah.
Like the position.
There's no football.
At this point, the position would be extinct. We'd be playing, flag football with guys, four receivers out wide. You have 2 running backs.
We're in 10 personnel, 1 back.
Yeah. So I think we figured it out that we all just it's trickle down economics. I think that worked well, right?
Yeah.
It does.
We're in a great spot right now.
We're in a great spot.
Well, I appreciate you guys saying that. You guys have been a big supporter of TEU from when it was just a random idea that George threw out there to me when I retired. And then here we are now in year 5, and we're going to have 85 guys down in Nashville. And I think what's cool, and you guys know this, is part of the appeal of the position is a lot of the guys, even though there are a lot of superstars in Kittle and Kelsey and whatnot, they're still just kind of like dudes, right? Yeah. They're just kind of like regular guys who want to work out. They want to train. They want to go drink a Bud Light at the bar, and they want to hang. So I think there's the culture and vibe, the fraternity component of the position. And then to your point, the position continues to be elevated, and it continues to, be talked about more than just the former converted quarterback and the former converted defensive end and the slow white guy who used to play receiver and now he can only play tight end. 20 years ago, that was a lot of the position, not all of them, but those days are over. Guys are now spending their entire lives training to be professional tight ends. And when I was coming up the ranks of a high school, college kid, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys do things like invite coordinators, or who's out there that running the play calls and the setup of what kind of offense you're actually going to be putting these guys through? Because I feel like that would be a good addition too, right?
Yeah. So we have to be careful. We can't have current coaches. So it's the dead period of the NFL. So there are some rules the NFL stipulates, coaches can't be in contact on the field with their players and whatnot. So it gets a little dicey. We do it at a college because we couldn't do it at the Titans facility. We couldn't do it in Chicago at the Bears facility. So we got to find another really cool venue. We'll see if there's any of those. So we couldn't do it at stuff like that, but we run it, and I don't do any of the drills. I try to keep us on track. They kind of joke with me and they call me dad because I'm the one yelling at Kittle and George and Travis, we need you back here. We got this drill. You're running this station. And, so we're trying to keep the trains on the track, but we just kind of do it ourselves. We've been to a lot of practices. We've been to a lot of meetings. We know what we're trying to get accomplished. And then in real time, we do the best that we can to stay on track. And sometimes we kind of go haywire and just improvise. But yeah, we don't have any coaches. We do it all. It's tight ends teaching tight ends. And when Kelsey's demonstrating a drill with Kittle, there's 2 undrafted guys that have never stepped foot on an NFL field that's dreams are just to make a roster. They're the next guy in line right behind him. So like that's a really cool kind of synergy that goes on. Is they're all, for these 3 days, everyone's kind of the same and everyone's working towards what's that next step on the ladder. And it's very different for every guy.
Rudin should get involved at some point.
Yeah, I don't like that they call you dad. You just turned 40. We just turned 40. How does 40 feel for you? Any kidney stones? I mean, our bodies are breaking down.
Can we talk? Yeah, why are you getting so many kidney stones?
I think it's just being a man.
Do you drink enough water?
Probably not. Probably eat too many wings.
Yeah, I would say probably the hefty amount, maybe 15 days of gumbo in a row.
Yeah,
might have something to do with the sodium.
A lot of sodium. There's a lot of sodium in gumbo, but it's so delicious.
Yeah. So wait, how are you feeling at 40 though? Because we're kind of similar. Like our bodies have taken a beating.
Yeah. Right.
Podcasting, playing in the NFL, kind of same thing.
I would say it's a mixed bag. I would, guys like us that have been through what we've been through, I think we're feeling similar things. There's some days where I wake up and I feel great. And there's some days where I wake up and I can't stand up because my back is in a full spasm. And literally the day before, all I did was like walk around the house and walk up the stairs. I didn't do anything overly active. So I haven't quite figured out like why some days are better than others. I have made like a conscious effort. I'm not perfect, but like Monday through Friday, like I can't go to the men's grill at the club every day and meet my buddies for lunch after golf and like have 2 beers because that's 10. So like I try not to have any beers during the week. I try not to eat. So I try to make like subtle things, but I wouldn't say I'm in fighting shape. I wouldn't say I'm in terrible shape. I'm probably 10 pounds overweight of where I need to be.
Same, yeah.
So I could probably lose 10. I could probably be a little bit more active. I'm terrified of rupturing my Achilles.
Oh, yeah.
It's my greatest fear in my life. And what's weird is like, that's one of those things like you got to like build back up your lower body strength and your ability to like jump and run and do all that. But it's like a slow build, but I'm so terrified of even starting that journey because I don't want to tear my Achilles trying to prep my Achilles for more workouts that I just do nothing.
Right.
Like I can't even get started. So that I would say that's a big fear I have of not like playing men's league basketball or back to playing tennis and stuff like that.
The Achilles thing is so funny because when we play hoops here, I am afraid to stretch my Achilles because I think I'll tear my Achilles stretching my Achilles. So then I don't stretch my Achilles.
And then you play the whole game scared you're going to pop your Achilles.
Yeah.
That's what I go through.
Yes.
You take one step in the morning and your heel kind of hurts and you think to yourself, I better not do anything active today because this is the day.
I know, exactly. And I know like 10 guys around town that have popped their Achilles. And then I try to like rationalize with myself, like I'm in better shape than them. Like I've done more. But then I also am like, but I've done a lot more. Like my body's. So like I kind of talk myself in circles. So then I end up like driving a golf cart to play 9 holes and then go sit in the men's grill and have a burger and a Arnold Palmer iced tea. And like I didn't have a beer. So that was a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find yourself struggling to do cardio? That for me, that's the big one. It's like
I can't.
I hate cardio. If you're not playing a sport, then it sucks. If I'm playing a sport, then I can run. But just to run, it's just it's the worst thing ever.
I can't. It's not physically that I can't. My ADD and attention span is so bad. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes on an incline. I have like a little weighted vest, and I'll get a good sweat. I'll be walking. I'll have a podcast in or a mute, whatever, listen to music, whatever, and I'll look down. I'll be like, that had to be like 6 or 7 minutes. I'm at like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I can't. I turn it off and I go sit in the sauna, and I'm like, I walked out with a great sweat.
That's an exercise too.
My heart rate was elevated. I didn't pop my Achilles. I got a good sweat. I'll shower and I'll chalk that as a win. But no, us 40-year-olds, we all kind of get it.
Yeah, just guys talking 40. All right, I got one more dick sucking thing, and it will lead to a bigger question about the NFL season coming up, which we're excited for. I was thinking about it, and I want to give you credit for the way you handled the whole going from 1 to 2. Also, no big deal, but you got nominated for an Emmy as the number 2. No big deal, but that's pretty cool. And you also won an Emmy last year, I believe. But I feel like most people would just give cliche answers all the time, and you saying like, no, I want to be number 1 again. I want to call the big games. I want to be back there. I appreciate that, because I think a lot of people just do the nice thing and they say, oh yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm just happy, so lucky to have a job. It's like, no, I'm competitive. I want to do it. So credit to you. I've always loved the way you've approached it. What time in the summer are you going to start doing, like, or do you do research? And maybe we could talk a little 2025 ball, because I'm at the point of the summer where I'm like, I can't wait for football.
99 days.
99 days. So do you have maybe some early thoughts that you want to we can toss around and talk some ball?
Well, I appreciate the comment. I appreciate the compliment. It means a lot. Yeah, and I've been very adamant about where I stand, and I'm also. And again, it doesn't always come through with headlines. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but like sometimes the headlines don't always match the story. It's something new that people are doing. Mm-hmm. You guys should try it. But I say all of that, like I always make sure I'm very clear where my personal aspirations to, continue to ascend in this industry and to get back to calling those games are completely independent of like Tom and I, like we've hung out personally, like we talk on the phone, we keep in touch. He sent a cool video for my youth football team as like a warm up to the season, like go kick their ass thing. Like we talk about raising teenage daughters. We've gone and played golf together. We hung out down in the Bahamas at a little retreat. Like we've gotten to be very good friends and a very personal level since he's joined Fox. Like me and him have been in the same room a lot together and hung out together in groups. So like there's this idea that there's this like personal animosity and competition. There's not. My relationship with Tom and Fox and Joe Davis and Burkhart and all my people at Fox couldn't be better. On the other parallel line to that, like, yes, I want to ascend in the industry. And I'm sure Joe Davis wants to call Super Bowls as well. It doesn't mean he doesn't like Burkhart and so on and so forth. So I think any motivated guy, like you want to be the best at what you do. And that is not a knock on the people that are ahead of you currently. That's just how I've always been wired. So I appreciate you saying that. And then, I would love to talk ball. I'd love to talk Bears. Yeah. I think the Bears are super fun. I'm selfishly hoping the Bears are really good, not because we root for teams, but because sometimes it's fun to root for a city. Like we didn't call any Bears games last year. Right. Like our crew, we should be calling noon kickoffs in Chicago, especially in that division, all year long. Like that should be a no-brainer early window Fox game. Bears Lions, Bears Vikings, Bears Pack. Like we should be calling all those Bears games. I didn't call one Bears game last year. Like we need Chicago to be good.
Yes, I agree. So all right. So last thing on that, I love what you just said there, because it is the truth. Like I think there's this weird thing that's happened in media where people can't be aspirational and they can't say, hey, I want to be the best, and that comes across as cocky. It's the opposite. You're literally just saying, yeah, I'm in this to be the best. I want to get back to the best. So as for the Bears and Colston Loveland, what have you seen from Ben Johnson and what he does with the tight end position, and how does that fit with Colston Loveland?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a huge Ben Johnson was the guy for that job. And I know there was a lot of speculation about it was going to go a couple directions, and was Ben Johnson going to end up in Vegas with the Raiders? And there was a lot of rumor and speculation. From the jump, everything Chicago has done the last couple of years, and it hasn't all been perfect and it hasn't all been right, but the pieces they had, the environment in which Ben Johnson was walking into, I thought Chicago had the most built-in wins based on their current. So like I always judge coaching jobs, guys, by like, all right, if just someone that knows what they're doing takes over, and it's an offensive guy because the offense stinks, or a defensive guy, whatever, someone just gets the current group of guys organized and brings out the best in all of them. I'm not even saying we bring in 1 million new players. How many wins are there just built into that roster? I thought Chicago had the biggest spread. I thought just the development of Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze and DJ Moore, they had Cole Kmet. Now they draft Loveland. They continue to invest in the offensive line, although that still could get better. Like all of a sudden now with Ben Johnson pulling the strings, Like, that's a real offense. They've made serious investment into the defensive side of the ball, free agents, drafts over the last couple of years. Like, I'm not saying they're going to be the best defense in the league, but that balance of offense and defense with Ben Johnson and his system put in place, there's 3 or 4 wins built into that roster like that.
Yeah.
So I that's how I view it. And now a lot of other things, health, injury, acquisition of new talent. There's a lot going on, but Ben Johnson to me was the belle of the ball. He was the coach that everyone wanted for multiple years. He was very picky. It tells me that he thinks the Bears are the same thing, because he had the opportunity to take a lot of jobs over the last couple of years, and he took Chicago, and that wasn't an accident.
And what you just said is actually kind of what PFT went through last year, where Dan Quinn comes in, and it's like Dan Quinn he's better than an organizer, but the floor rises up when you get a competent head coach who knows what he's doing in a day in, day out basis.
And I think our roster was much worse than Chicago's roster is right now going into last season.
Oh.
Like, we had to get a bunch of 1-year rentals off the street, and it was like, okay.
You talking about in Detroit?
No, I'm talking about in DC. Dan Quinn.
Oh, yeah, Washington. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Dan. I'm sorry. I thought you said Dan Campbell. I'm sorry.
No, he's another good example though, where the culture and organizing.
Oh no,
guys.
DQ.
Yeah.
No, DQ. Oh, that's the perfect example. And Washington's roster compared to last year, compared to the Bears roster this year, I agree. At least on paper, the Bears roster is significantly, maybe not significant, is better, but you can't put what Jane Daniels did. Like, I don't know if we could expect anyone. If Caleb Williams is Jane Daniels, then the Bears are gonna, they're as good as anybody. So like, that's the caveat to all that. Like, for that roster, and Dan Quinn was awesome, and Kingsbury was awesome. Jaden Daniels had arguably the greatest rookie season of any quarterback in history.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun to watch. So going through the young tight ends that you have right now in the NFL, and you're not allowed to say Brock Bowers for this. Besides Brock, who is the best young tight end that we should keep our eye on?
Yeah, I would have said Brock.
Yeah.
Good answer. That would have been
tough,
cheating.
That's a tough caveat. It's a good question.
Good question.
I like Laporta.
Mm-hmm.
I think Laporta's really good. I think what's cool about Laporta is that he's not Brock Bowers. He's not, the Kelsey, where he's like so flashy, and you put on the tape and you're like, holy shit, this guy's so fast. Oh my God, this guy runs the best routes. Oh my God, this guy is dumping people in the run game on his back, which maybe is why I appreciate it, because that was never me either. But like, every time you watch Laporta do something, you're like, he's really good at that.
Right.
He's really good at that. He's really good at everything, hence why he plays in that system and why Ben Johnson was able to do what they did with him. And he never has to come off the field, because he's not a liability in the pass game. I mean, he's not a liability in the run game. He's not a liability when they ask him a couple times a game to pass pro. He can win on third downs. He can win on all the play action stuff where they kind of script him open. He can do all of it good enough that he can stay on the field the whole time. And that's where you really see the value of these guys, because they don't come off. So their volume of opportunity goes up. So I really like Laporta. I think we have a great young generation of guys coming up behind the Kittles and the Kelseys of the world, that I think the position of tight end is as strong, if not stronger, than it's been maybe ever.
Yeah. We should talk about Brock, though, because I don't want to completely gloss over. He's obviously the number one answer to that question. But what was it about his rookie year? What did he do that was so special that you haven't seen from other players?
Man, I remember the first time I watched him play, and you saw a 6'5" white guy playing in the SEC, running through the secondary, and nobody was catching him. Like, that is just unique to be that tall, that long, super linear in that conference, and you look like the fastest guy on the field. And I think he was only maybe a freshman or maybe a redshirt freshman, whatever it was. He was young. And I remember thinking to myself, like, if he was able to come out of the draft after his second year, like, you didn't have to stay for his third year. If he was able to leave whether it was a sophomore or redshirt freshman, whatever it was, he would have been a top 10 pick. Like, he was that good. You're going to make an argument him and Marvin Harrison Jr. were the best two of the best prospects in the draft, and neither one of them could come out 2 years ago. So or 3 years ago, whatever it was. So he's uniquely talented. I think he went into an interesting situation where, even though the team wasn't very good, there is like a volume of opportunity chances when you're playing on a team that is losing, where you're throwing the ball for 4 quarters because you're always playing catch up.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many opportunities in the passing game. You might not have a lot of other weapons, so they're going to design the system to go through you. I'll be interested to see how that plays out now with the new regime and Pete Carroll. And Gino loves his tight ends, but like they're going to run the ball. They are going to be under center 2 back. Like it's going to be a little bit of a different aspect than what he was used to last year. But as Fyre is just a talent, I've said I think he's the best tight end prospect to come out of the draft in the last 10 years, 10, 15 years. Like, and his rookie year matched it, if not exceeded it, which was pretty incredible.
Yeah, his rookie year was incredible, especially given the fact that the Raiders were kind of, lost a little bit with their quarterback situation and the talent on the roster. I got a question about tight ends. How much wiggle does a tight end need? And is there such a thing as too much wiggle for a tight end? Because your slot receiver, you want a lot of wiggle.
Yeah.
And you
so by
see
wiggle,
it.
you're talking like weaving, getting in out of your break, a little shake, a little shimmy.
Yeah, a little bit of that where it's like you don't want to give up too much. You don't want to have too much wiggle because then you might not be great at blocking, but you also can't be, you see sometimes tight ends or players on the field, they have a stiffness to them that you're like, all right, that's not going to work in the NFL.
Yeah, so like, and no, you're right. And that's why, the top guys over the last couple of years, the last, call it 10 years, they're unique. And now we're seeing more and more of the body types that can handle both the run game stuff and be effective in the passing game stuff. We're seeing more and more of the 6'4", 6'5" guy who in years past was a quarterback, a defensive end, a basketball player, who now, instead of just joining tight end late into the game and being like a project, we're seeing them now, they've played their entire life at the position. So they're just so much more advanced than maybe they were in years past. I think to your point, though, there is a little bit of a fine line unless you're Kittle, right? Where you're so strong in the run game and you can hold your own, but you're only 250 pounds, maybe soaking wet. He's probably closer to the high 240s, which is not very big. When I came into the league, if you weren't 260, 265, you were looked at as like a little tight end. Nowadays, a lot of these guys are in the 40s and they're just so strong, and their technique and their toughness, they can get by hanging in the run game. There's a willingness and a want to, but you always say like a guy's light in the ass. Like there's some guys that are a little light in the ass where they can get in and out of breaks and they're super fluid and they can run those choice routes and those option routes and they can sink their hips and they can drop their weight. And that allows them to get in and out like more of like an Edelman and a slot receiver type guy. It's hard to do that at 6'5". Right. Your center of gravity is so much higher. Your legs are longer. You're more like linear built. And that's why what Kelsey does, again, we're talking about historically great players, is so unique because he is 6'5", but can drop and can sink his hips. So it's hard to find those guys. But yeah, you can be too light in the ass, which means like you just got no anchor. Like you can't just stick your hips into the ground and you might not drive the guy back, but you're going to hold your ground and at least tie. Those guys are going to be the guys that are only in the game on passing downs. And they're not going to be 3-down guys because you have to at least be able to be competitive if I'm going to play you in first and second down nowadays. I can't only have you in the game to run routes. Like it's virtually impossible to play that style in most NFL offenses. There's a few, but in most of them you can't.
At TEU, do you have conversations with some of those guys, maybe the ones that are light in the ass, they look like they can't hold up and run support, and do you suggest to them maybe get number 88 or number 89? Maybe you don't get like a team number, and then the ones that are kind of big and bulky, you're like, you should try to wear number 11.
Mm-hmm.
Smart. Yeah, I think what number you wear is critical because I think sometimes fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
So I think like oftentimes if you're a slight guy, getting a boxier 88's a great example. I wish I would have thought of that. I would have gone a little more slimming, but a little bit more boxy. It makes at least everyone thinks like, all right, this guy can sink his hips and he can strike and he can hold his ground. And then maybe you're a little heavier, a little later in your career, maybe you can slim down number wise. I think that's smart.
Yeah.
We might build that in.
Yeah, you see high 80s, you're like, that's tight end.
Yeah, and I think it also would help them personally. They'd see themselves in the mirror and they'd see pictures wearing number 88, and it's like you see it, then you believe it, then you do it.
Yeah.
That's smart. It's like that. It's like the scene in Cool Runnings, right? When the guy's like, look in the mirror and tell me what you see. Like he's talking himself in to go fight the guy in the bar. I see pride. I see power. Like it's kind of the same idea. Like I see an 8 and an 8. I'm a damn tight end and I'm going to go fucking hit you in the face. Like,
yeah. Listen,
that's real.
We'll We've talked about someday maybe doing a course at TEU about the media, but we could also throw in like how important is picking a number and what you have to go through. We absolutely, because we know, you know what a fast number is, you know what a slow number is, you know what a blocking number is. You could just feel it. So we're more than willing to do that.
What are your guys' thoughts on the number 0?
Hate it.
It's
unless here's the one exception. If it's like a scat back, If it's like a
returner,
Darren Sproles.
Yep.
Who's the best number 0 in the NFL right now? Like I know Brian Burns wears number 0. I think Miles Sanders for the Panthers, does he wear number 0? Or somebody on the Panthers? I know the Panthers have a 0. Is
I'm
there
so
like
bad
a
at numbers.
super?
Yeah,
so am I. I mean, I'm making this up as I go. I'm just trying to think. Like I don't. My first gut reaction to number 0 is I hate it.
Look, DeAndre Swift used to wear it.
Yeah, he used to wear 0 with the
Braxton Berrios.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley. Yeah, I think you got to be like I think if you wear number 0, you have to be like, hey, I'm good for like 3 punt or kickoff returns a year for a touchdown. Like you can't. That's like comes with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you can't just be like a guy. Like you can't just be like, oh yeah, he's a good player. Like I think to wear a number like that, you need to be like, I'm just the baddest dude on the block, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like I'm Justin Jefferson.
Yeah,
I also think
Roquan. I think wears 0 for the Ravens.
Roquan
he didn't for the Bears.
There's a good one.
And that's terrifying.
He is good because he's like 0. You have to have speed. It has to be like speed that's gonna fuck you up, whether it be in the kick return or a linebacker just fucking going through the middle of the field.
He said before you start with 1, you start with 0. And damn, that's so
Smith
true.
will put his face. Yeah, Roquan will put his head through your skull. So that's a good one.
Yeah. It's tough though.
There's
numbers.
It's amazing how certain numbers you just assume. Like when I think of 44, I'm thinking of like a fullback linebacker neck roll, and he's putting his helmet through your chin, but he runs 4.9.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. Or
Dallas
like
Clark.
Dallas Clark. I was going to say like a possession tight end.
Yeah.
Not the fastest guy.
And he's gritty, and he's just so tough. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do a whole class on numbers.
I actually think that since we're on numbers, and I had this as one of the things I want to bring up, like I'm not ready to give up on Kyle Pitts yet, but maybe changing his number from 8 could be a start.
That's a great. I think he's the perfect candidate. Like every time you see 8, I think about it when I see his game. Like immediately, I'm like wide receiver. No, that's Pitts. Like it doesn't click all of it automatically because the single digit. Like you just think receiver. It's not necessarily about Pitts as much as it is. But then like body type wise, he's long, he's lean.
Yep.
Like yeah, if he walked out next year as 87.
84 in college. You were 84 in college.
84.
Perfect.
Yeah. Smart.
That's all right. So that one.
We'll do a numbers class.
Yeah,
that'll be the math portion
Advanced
of TEU.
analytics.
You know, we always joke about like, we always be like role play. We're like, all right, let's go back to the conversation. Luke Kuechly gets drafted. He was number 40 at Boston College, top 10 pick, Hall of Fame guy, hopefully next year. When the Panthers were like, all right, here are your options. You could be number 59. He's like, yeah, sure. I'll be number 59.
Right.
And that feels like, we always tell him, I'm like, Luke, that feels like one of those numbers. Like, when you see Bill Belichick's team and like they all get random numbers until they earn it, you know? It felt like that was like his rookie minicamp number. And he was just like such a nice guy that he was just like, I'll never change it. And he made 59 like a badass number.
Yeah, 59 is a long snapper number.
Or Luke Kuechly.
Luke Kuechly. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember we ran into him at TEU a couple years ago, and he's lost so much weight.
Yeah.
Dude, he looks great.
Dude, you talk about a guy who's taken the opposite approach of ours.
Yeah.
That dude lifts heavy. He runs. He just walked rim to rim on the Grand Canyon. He did a half triathlon or a half Ironman. He's shredded. That dude is a specimen still to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hardly even recognize him. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, that is Luke
Kuechly.
Kuechly, and he looks great.
Yeah.
I have a question
looks great.
about TEU. Do you guys do grades?
Like A, B, C, D.
Yeah, it's a university, right?
That would be grades.
That's really small. Yeah.
They did. We just found the answer to did they do grades in Miami?
Yeah. Every time I think of grade, I think like 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. I have teenage kids. So like all I think about is like, what grade are they in? And everyone's always like, they're a rising 8th grader. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what grade are they in right now?
Right now.
Yeah. At Miami,
Anyway,
it was mid-grade.
you're right. You're right. So that's on me. Poor job processing. We don't. And we don't do report cards. We do give we give an award out. Last year, I'm trying to remember who we gave. We gave like this sick, I want to say like maybe a Levi's jacket. We gave out like some sick, like custom jacket of some sort to like the guy we thought like embodied everything that is TEU. But no, we don't give out grades. We have toyed with the idea of giving out like instead of like the Maxwell Award or the Heisman Trophy or the Davey O'Brien, like all these Nagurski, like all these awards that are given out by these like the TEU award, and like we recognize the best NFL tight end every year, and like every year it's presented at our event. We've toyed with doing that. We haven't gotten it off the ground. By the way, trophies, if you ever want to make like a Pardon My Take trophy, they're very expensive.
Yeah. We have a low man. I mean, we
made a trophy.
We'd be willing to delve into the tight end of the year award.
Yeah.
We do it for college for the fullback, but we could do well, yeah.
I mean, I don't hate that. You know who we thought would have been like a cool to honor, but we were very surprised. So obviously Dwight Clark passed away, unfortunately, and had a tough battle. And I always recognize, made one of the most iconic catches from Joe Montana in NFL history with the catch. I always thought Dwight Clark was a tight end, but he's not.
Yeah.
Dwight Clark is on the all my life. I always thought Dwight Clark was a tight end. So unfortunately, we thought that'd be like this was a couple years ago, shortly after he passed. And we were like, what a great way to honor him.
Yeah.
He could be the name that we continue his legacy and whatnot. And then people like, he's actually a wide receiver. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah, we would demand the award be named after Tony Scheffler. I think that's kind of a deal breaker. So, but
we could talk about that.
Yeah, the Tony Scheffler award. I got a question for you. This is a weird question. Do we own a football team?
We do.
Sweet.
When do we need to sign anything?
I haven't signed anything either, but we do own a football team.
Hey, all right.
I believe they're undefeated. The Monterey Osos.
Fuck yes.
They're undefeated. Their merchandise gear is off the charts. Their logo's sick. Ryan Khalil, who's a really good buddy of mine, Ryan Khalil and Blake Griffin, they own a production company out in LA called Mortal Media. They like spearheaded the operation, and then they sent out a group text and everyone was like, sure, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So yes, me, you, Kittle, McCaffrey, Ron Rivera, Blake, Ryan. So yes, the answer to that question is yes. Every time Ryan's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I don't know how much I'm in for. I don't know what that means, but yes, whatever you need, I'm in. I'm trying to set up a time to go to Monterey and do some stuff with their coaches.
Yeah.
And but the answer to your question is yes. I don't know exactly.
All right, we're pumped.
I saw a press release that said like Greg Olsen has purchased a team in Monterrey, Mexico. Among the co-owners include Dan Big Cat Katz and Eric PFT commenter Sollenberger. So I texted Big Cat and I was like, "Hey, do we own this football team?" He was like, "Yeah, I think we might."
Well, you know what happened was Khalil texted me and Blake Griffin, and he texted being like, the first part of the text was like, "Hey, what's your address? We want to send you some stuff." And the second part of the text was like, "Hey, we're going to do a press release. You guys cool with like putting your name in it?" And I just read the first part and I was like, "Here's our address." And then I just like memory hold it. And then like a week later, the press release comes out. PFT's like, "Hey, did you sign anything?" I was like, "No, actually, I completely forgot he asked." But yeah, we own a team. So we're in.
Yeah, no, we're in. It's going to be sick, dude. Little did I know, and Khalil's worked his ass off on this, but like the history of football in Mexico is actually pretty amazing. And like the stories of these guys, like the coaches and the players and what they do and where they like, it isn't actually like real. So there's going to be like a whole like mini series doc based around this team and the ownership group and the ascension of the program. Like, it's going to be a pretty cool kind of behind the scenes look. And especially as the NFL and football continues to just get more and more global and reach more and more beyond America, I think it's going to be a blast.
Yeah,
No,
we're pumped.
I'm very pumped. The Osos are back.
Yeah, the Osos are back. All right.
The Osos are back.
They're back. So TEU, like we said, coming up again, June 23rd to 25th. Very excited for it. I have one last question for you. Rowback question, RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, rowback.com, promo code TAKE. Kind of not a weird question, but you do a lot of podcasting and talking about being a dad and coaching. So I have a dad/coaching question. My oldest is 6, so he's getting into sports. We're trying everything. You know, he's playing basketball, he's playing t-ball, he's swimming, he's doing everything. What point do I actually decide like I'll coach him? Because I don't want to be the overbearing guy. I don't want to be the like, you have to do this, because I don't want him to just be like, I don't want to do it if you tell me to do it. I want him to naturally like it, and that's why we're doing, like, he does taekwondo, trying to do as many things as possible, see if he likes any of them. But at what age would you say is like, all right, now you can actually start coaching? Because I don't want to be that guy.
Well, I'd say if he's 6 and he hasn't picked his sport of the future yet, he's behind.
Yeah.
So I would say first and foremost,
he's not going pro. He's not going pro. I'm going to say that right now.
You only do youth sports if the goal is to go pro.
Yeah.
So you need to change your entire mindset and get out of like, it's about the experience and it's about the kids and the development and all that. And you need to get on the page with the rest of the world. So that's your first mistake.
Yep.
To your real question, all seriousness, coaching your kid is a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
I was coached by my dad in high school. It's all I ever knew. He coached me and my 2 brothers. We all went and played collegiately. Like, it worked for us. He was really hard on us. He did it for 40 years. It's all I knew. It's the only reason I ever made it. I learned more at a young age than anybody else I was competing against because I was just around it, and I had incredible coaching from the time I was 2 years old. I coach a season of each of my kids. So I have a almost 14-year-old son who I coach his football team at school. So we do middle school football. It's all summer long. It's real football. I do him in the fall. My daughter, I coached her basketball team the last couple of years. She's in 6th grade, rising 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
In case anyone thought she was skipping grades, I guess. And then her twin brother, my younger son, I coach his team in the spring. So I do a season with each kid. And I will say, I love it. I love spending the time with my kid. I love giving back to the other kids. So I spend as much time as anybody doing it. There are going to be moments where you think this isn't worth it. Like,
right.
I'm arguing with my kid. He doesn't want to listen to me. He only wants to do what other people said. I almost feel like he's doing the opposite. Like, that is all going to be very normal. And you're going to have to manage all of those emotions. It's going to be very hard for you to sit at a sideline and watch the vast majority of what's going on in youth sports and not get involved.
Yeah. No, because I already feel it. I already feel it. I watched basketball this year and I was like, I'd like to coach.
Like, this is 100%. And you're going to feel that as he gets older. It's going to go less like, oh, this is so cute that they're shooting at the wrong basket. And then you're going to be like, okay, now, like, they're old enough now to know, like, here's our basket. Like, why are we not coaching them? Why are we not, like, I lose my mind sometimes. Now, I will say I've been lucky that in some of the seasons, my kids have been coached by really good people where I can now just be dad. And like, I'm thinking in my head, what would I do? And I'm like, they're doing a great job. I entrust you to coach my kids. So if you can find that, great. If you don't have that, you're going to find yourself moving from the bleachers to the end of the bench, to the second of the bench, to the head coach very quickly. Because if not, if you're like me, you're going to just lose your shit. Like, you're just going to lose your mind and be like, if I'm going to waste all this time all week, at least my kid's going to know the basics and we just got to teach them.
Yeah. It was the moment that it hit me was for my son, they did a parents versus kids basketball game at the end of the season. And I mean, my usage rate was out of control. I think I scored like 15 out of our 20 points, and I was like, I should be coaching. Like, I hit a 3, and they were like, no one's ever hit a 3 in this game before. I was like, well, they fucking left me open. Like, what do you want me to do? So I think I got to get involved.
Do you teach closeouts? I mean,
they would no one close me out.
be like, hey, can we teach the closeout with the proper hand and force me to the help side?
Yeah.
If you were coaching that to the 6-year-olds, I wouldn't be draining threes in your face.
And when someone told me that, I took it as like, holy shit, that's so impressive. You hit a 3. What they really were saying is like, no parent has ever taken a 3 in this game because that's an asshole move. But I was like, listen, they left me open. What do you want me to do?
Hey, shoot or shoot, man.
Oh man. All right. Well, you're the best, Greg. We love having you on. We love TEU. Hopefully we could do some stuff. The numbers seminar would be.
Numbers, we'll brand it as math.
Yeah.
This is like advanced math for tight ends. And then we'll do the media training where we'll teach them how to respond to stupid questions from the media. And we have no shortage of stupid people in the media that work here that I'm sure would love to volunteer their time as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, what if we did we did a stress test? It's like you have to go live with Ben Mintz for 5 minutes. That's a
it's like one of those
thing.
like if you can survive this, you can survive anything kind of thing.
Well, no, that one was a trick because the answer is no. I can't do that. I have prior commitments. I will not go live with Ben Mintz.
Yeah, your agent steps in and says, "No, we're not doing this."
Got it. So it's okay. See, this is where you guys are professionals.
Level. Yeah.
My immediate brain is like, okay, I'll do it, and I just get really good at dodging stupid questions.
No.
You look at it as if you have to do it, you got to fire your marketing agent.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct. There'll be a
levels to
bunch
it.
of those. It'll be almost like we'll go
Smart.
levels, and he might be like the final boss, where it's like if you're
smart.
If you say yes to this, then you need to find a new media guy.
But if you say no to somebody that you should go do an interview with, then that's a problem too, because then that guy is going to be like, I'm bigger than this tight end. I'm going to make it my mission to trash him.
Right.
And then that's going to ding you on the PR side. So yeah, listen, I don't want to. I'm not going to give away the milk for free. You gotta pay for the cow a little bit. So we'll talk later.
No, it's smart.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to give you guys a compliment.
Oh.
And since you've given us so much compliment, TEU presented by Bud Light. I'm sorry, 15. It's going to kind of be more Dan, but it's more generally speaking. My wife, I consider to be like a coffee snob / aficionado. She bought some of the Stella Blue. And it got rave reviews.
Let's go. And it's saving dogs.
And she's a dog person. So all in all, it reminded me when I see it behind you there next to Dicka. So you gave us a lot of compliments on TEU presented by Bud Light, New Era, Jersey Mikes, and Dude Wipes. Thank you to our partners.
Way to get that
I'm going to now kick it back to you that a very, very particular coffee consumer to support you and Stella Blue, what gave rave reviews. So for what that's worth.
I'm going to kick it back to you, Greg, as such a good guy, and you're so good working with all these different brands, and you've done so well in your media career. That was such a great compliment that you paid Big Cat on his coffee. I think it would be great if you gave Stella Blue a free sponsorship into TEU.
Good point.
And then you raise the awareness, and then now you're saving so many more dogs because you're such a good guy.
And let me just give a compliment to PFT. That was incredible by you as my agent to work that in.
And now I'll pay it full circle, and now I'll give you guys an offer for free. So yes, PFT, appreciate you being the guy you are to me. Now I'm going to kick it back to you. Free advice. We use this for our heart charity. We guilt people. We guilt people all the time. Be like, hey, we'd love you to support the Hardest Yard, but don't only do it if you like supporting kids with bad hearts. Like unless you just want these kids with bad hearts to continue to die and continue to not have great medicine, like. Then we're not the group for you. But like if you're into helping kids with bad hearts, like my son, then we'd love you to encourage. You could flip it and be like, hey, only drink. If you hate dogs and you want to see them killed, Stella Blue is not for you. But if you happen to have a heart and you like dogs, maybe consider us. Like it works. So that's my free marketing to
that's
you.
great.
Because,
and you know what Stella Blue might need is maybe a decaffeinated version of the coffee for people that have caffeine sensitivities.
Yeah. Maybe
that have hearts that aren't able to handle it. So if you want to work to develop that, I'm sure Big Cat would be okay with you selling that and then kicking back a modest percentage to him on the top end to save those dogs. So it's like people helping people. It's a big circle of help.
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
You're a genius. All right, Greg, you're the best.
Appreciate you guys.
We love having you on, and we'll see you soon.
All right, guys. See ya.
Greg Olsen was brought to you by our great friends of a Truly Hard Seltzer. Truly Unruly Lemonade combines the high alc fun of Truly Unruly with everyone's favorite lemonade. It's lemonade let loose. 8% ABV, 100% delicious. They've got 4 supercharged lemonade flavors: Bumpin' Blue Raz, OG, Original Lemonade, Punched Up Pineapple, Wild Pink. I got the Punched Up Pineapple right here. Also, big fan of the Bumpin' Blue Raz. It's the drink of the summer. It's the official hard seltzer of Part of My Take. You can level up your lemonade with Truly Unruly. And now here's Zach Lavine.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, 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 very special guest. It is Zach Lavine from the Sacramento Kings, also golfer. We have Zach on. We're going to talk some ball. He also is going to be in Tahoe we're going to be there as well, competing in the American Century Celebrity Golf Championship in July. So let's start with that. I want to talk some ball, Zach, but how is the golf game feeling right now, and what are the expectations for Tahoe, which is the coolest tournament ever?
Most important thing of the summer.
Yes.
By far.
Yes.
Haven't even thought about basketball. It's been just trying to train at golf. I did it a couple years ago, and it was the funnest experience I've had. And I got the most respect for golfers. I wish my dad put a golf club in my hand before baseball and football. Obviously, basketball worked out pretty well, but I started playing around COVID, and then I got invited to the American Century Tournament. It was great, man. Everything's fun until they announce your name, all your accolades, and everything's quiet. And my caddy's like, "Yeah, just take it over the guy in the red hat, over his head." And I'm like, "Oh, shoot, this is a little bit different than shooting a free throw." So
Yeah.
it's fun though, man. I got a passion for it. I play all the time, me and my boys. So it's
Awesome.
it's fun.
So what are you expecting to finish at this tournament? What's the goal for you?
Last time I got to do better than I did last time. So my first time I had the jitters. I think I finished like 12th from last.
Okay.
Had a decent first day, and after that it was just blow up hole. Scared to hit people. So that was a couple years ago. I've been playing with a couple of my boys. That was the year Steph won though. So I need to be in the top 30. I'll be happy with.
Okay, you got to pick one guy that you have to beat. If you were to select one on the
Devontae
leaderboard.
Adams.
That was easy. Okay.
That's my boy. I was just playing with him the other day. Devontae will be out there. Who else will I? Probably Kyle Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my good friends too. I want to probably beat him.
Yeah.
But Devontae's pretty damn good, man. He's probably like a 5 handicap.
Yeah, he is. I've seen some of his videos. He looks like. I mean, all you guys are basically cheating when it comes to golf. Like all athletes, professional athletes, they put a golf club in their hand, and you're like, oh yeah, they're really good at all sports. And it's like, fuck, I wish I could look this smooth. Like you're like, oh yeah, I started golfing a few years ago. You're probably sick.
No, the guy that's nasty is Steph, man. Every time I talk, I say you can't be this good at both sports.
Yeah,
agreed.
He's pro level at golf. So it's sick.
Yeah.
Is there a sport that you've tried that you've just sucked at?
Yeah, it started off as golf. I just got addicted to it. You guys know me. I'm a pretty good athlete. Now I was a better baseball player than basketball. So, it's picking up golf wasn't that hard. I already knew how to swing, but it's definitely it's challenging, man. It's challenging.
So
I love it.
when you made the switch from like, all right, I'm going to go basketball instead of baseball, was that tough to do? And like, did you think like if things had gone differently, baseball would have been a future like this?
I think I would have been pretty good. Obviously, me and Donovan Mitchell were having this conversation. We did the little celebrity all-star game in Seattle, and we're like, how about we both retire at 32 and see which one of us will make the pros after we retire? So, but no, I made a good choice, man. I can't get mad at anything I've done. Basketball is definitely my passion and, something I excel at.
Yeah, you were talking about having your dad put a golf club in your hands when you were getting started. I know that your dad was instrumental in helping you become a great athlete. He was a great athlete himself, and your mom, both of them. But I've heard that your dad had some crazy-ass workouts that he used to put you through. Like some next level stuff.
Still does. Yeah. No, I mean, I've done everything from, athletic training wise of running, jumping, plyometrics. I used to do lunges on the football field from 100-yard lines and then do them backwards, 80, backwards, 60. I would hop the hashes. I would run hills with weight vests on when I was 12. My dad was training me like a professional when I was a kid. So I think everything helped out.
Yeah. So he works you out now?
Every once, my dad's retired now. That's what he says. He said my job is to, enjoy his grandkids and, come to games and talk a little shit. I think that's about it. But he still he still gives me some workouts for sure.
Yeah. Talk about these playoffs, because you obviously some of the guys who are in the playoffs, obviously, and you also the Timberwolves are bounced now, but you played for the Timberwolves. I want to start though with Alex Caruso, your former teammate. What is it about? We love him too. He's a good friend of ours, but what is it about his defense that makes it so elite and like maybe something that we're not seeing? Like it feels like it's just havoc every time he's out there.
I mean, the guy's a crash dummy, man. I mean, playing with him for 3 years, he's one of the smartest dudes. He's going to be a great coach when he's done. When he was with us in Chicago, he would help lead some of our meetings. And him coming from LA, having that championship pedigree, it elevated our defense immediately. Helping guys out like me and DeMar just being gaps. And Alex, Alex is a great athlete, but he'll tell you first. He's like, I'm not an elite, athlete. He's just all heart and IQ, man. He studies film a lot. I've seen him break down dudes' game. I remember how he guarded me. I always tell him I gave him, 38 one day, but it was it was a hard 38. But AC is one of the best defenders in the NBA. I think he should have been all first, defense many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he got it last year. They finally
every year he should have it.
Yeah.
Every year.
He was the
I
first
don't care what it is.
first Italian American to win all defense in the NBA. I think in the history of the association. So that's a pretty prestigious honor they gave him.
Everything that goes Alex's way, man, he deserves it. One of the hardest working guys. One of the coolest dudes. Talk about a good golfer too. He's a little bit better than me too. I think he competed in the American Century Tournament one time. So it was he's a great guy. It's one of my good friends.
Yeah, we have a golf simulator here, and we actually right before he got traded from the Bulls to the Thunder, I was going to give him a key card because he would just show up and get on the golf simulator because he's just like I think he just does everything like that where it's like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go as crazy as possible.
So is it fair to say that I know you're probably rooting for him a little bit. Do you find yourself watching these playoffs with a preference of which team you'd like to see win?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm going for my guys all the time. AC, I want him to, be able to hoist another championship. I'll see him later this summer. So, if he can get another one, I mean, what a trade the upgrade that they had when Chicago traded him to OKC, man, it was an incredible trade for them.
Yeah, what is it about the Thunder's defense that's just so elite? Because it just feels like they suffocate teams, and they have a way of it just you watch the team like Anthony Edwards had a very tough time dealing with the Thunder's defense. Is it something specific they're doing, or they're just all elite defenders?
I mean, they're a really good defensive team. I think they put that first. Guys that support each other are hard-nosed guys, and that's their role to go out there and we understand Shea's role, but he sits in gaps. He's not somebody that you're going to say is an elite defender, but he sits down when he needs to. He has really good hands. But you have guys like Lou Dort who that's his job is to harass all game. He don't care if he shoot 10 times or 2 times. Same with AC. AC might get 15 points, but he'll impact the game by getting 4 steals, 2 blocks, a charge, 3 deflections. Cason Wallace is a really good defender too. So they have specific specialist guys on their team that they really get after it. Earlier this year it was we played them later on, right after we played them right after the All-Star break, and we gave them a pretty good run up in Sacramento. But it was a hard fought game. But every possession, you have to make a shot, or you have to really work the offense. And they're really well coached. Really well coached.
Yeah. And looking out to the East, what's it like playing against the Pacers? Is it the most exhausting thing that you've ever done? Because over the course of the series, it feels like the Knicks, they don't play a lot of guys to begin with. They would prefer not to play a lot of guys. But it feels like they've just been ground down, just having to run up and down the court nonstop. Is it that tiring?
I mean, they're in our division. I played them so many damn times. They're a hard-nosed team, but they get up and down fast. They don't care if you score. They take it out of bounds quick. They bring the ball up. You have to play fast versus them. I think this last year in Chicago, we played them pretty well. Even the year before, we played them decently, and they've had the same style of play. Rick Carlisle's a hell of a coach. Halliburton can literally, do what he wants to with the ball and get into the paint, facilitating guys. He'll have a good game by not even scoring well sometimes. But, you got to play fast versus them. I think the Knicks, they're one of the slower paced teams in the NBA. So it's a pick your battle, essentially. You either got to pay at their pace or, you can't have any turnovers. You got to get them in foul trouble. You got to make them play at your pace. And it's hard to do that with guys, running.
Yeah.
Yeah, me personally, if I were to score against a team and then immediately they just throw the ball down the court and they've already
Of
scored,
course.
like I'm like, come on, man, you have to give me like a second to do my little celebration dance. You gotta give me a second to talk a little shit, then slowly backpedal on defense, get set up. It's not fair.
I mean, that's the new. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that come into a game and start celebrating over one shot. I think that's a newer generation of guys.
Yeah. Well, I would just celebrate because it'd be a miracle that it went in. So you got to take.
How many? If you could play one game 36 minutes, how many points you think you could score?
I'd probably get 23, 24. No, I did. We did a 3-point shootout, and I think I took 20 3-pointers. I made 9. But the ones
Those are
that
wide open.
yeah, and also the ones that I missed, I think they were all air balls. So it either goes in or it misses the basket entirely. So no, I mean I saw that there was one example in the last game where I think they might have dunked it, but it was a layup or something like that. And then within 2 seconds, the ball was down the court and the Pacers were already scoring. And I felt exhausted for the Knicks having to defend against that.
Yeah, they take the ball at the net and they literally it's the next play. It's the next play mentality.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of guys out there that are hard nosed. Like T.J. McConnell's been a winner since he was in high school. You know, a lot of like he's a guy that I played against him in college. And them hard nosed guys, Neesmith, you know, all those guys. Siakam's come from winning. You know, they're a good team.
Yeah. Well, speaking of former teammates, Karl Anthony Towns, you played with him for the first few years in Minnesota. We love him. We love watching him. He's a different cat, but he's also like when he gets hot and he's taking it to the rim and he's hitting those threes. When you first met him, were you like, this guy is? I mean, it's crazy. He's 7 feet and he can shoot the three better than most players in the league.
I mean, Cat's one of the most skilled people in the NBA in general. You know, it's not even crazy. I think he's a top big in the league, and he's proven that over the last 7 years of his career. There's not a lot of guys you can compare him to. I think that trade for him was big time too. Because I think the trade for both of them was big. Minnesota, getting some more toughness with Julius Randle. You see that both were in the conference finals. So, but Cat's incredible. He's one of my good friends. I always root for him. It just shows how skilled and how talented he is. Because any team he gets on, he can elevate.
He also seems like an awesome dude, just like a genuinely like good dude. I would assume that came through even when you guys first linked up because you both were young.
Oh yeah, when I got drafted, I just turned 19, and then I played me and Drew were together when he got traded over, and then Cat got drafted that next year. So, we were really good those first 3 years. I think we were one of the only teams that had like 3 guys averaging 20 or more points, and we're all under 21. So, good times.
Yeah.
You ever think about like what could have been if that group had, stayed young together, grown up together?
Yeah, I mean, you can always think, but you never know. I think growing up and then seeing, obviously the trajectory of each of our careers, I think we needed it, especially, for me, like me being able to go to Chicago and, have pretty much become the player that I was. I don't think that would have happened if we all stuck together, but you never know how good of a team we could have been.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think I take everything in stride, but I think that's the beauty of basketball.
What was it like for 19-year-old Zach to get drafted by the Timberwolves and having Kevin Garnett as one of your teammates? Did he talk shit to you immediately?
KG liked me a lot because me and KG sat next to each other. That's like one of my main vets. I have a specific story that's hilarious. I hope you don't get mad at this, but he comes in the locker room and a couple guys, guys get on their phone immediately. And they're looking at either stats or Twitter. I don't know. They're looking at something. And this is like one of his first games with us. And he's looking around. He looks next to me. He's like, Zach, they always do this shit? I say, yeah, man. I don't know any different. It's my first time in the NBA. Gets up, grabs everybody's phone, puts in a bag. So we're not doing this shit no more. A couple extra, expletives. Throws the bag outside the locker room before Flips comes in. Flip comes in the locker room, starts talking about the meeting. He holds it up. He said, no, we're not doing this shit. Nobody gets on their phone one more time. I promise you, every phone is getting broken. Go ahead, Flip, start the meeting. So he set the tone immediately from that. It was the first time we got traded over. But KG, it was incredible having those guys. Him, Mo Williams, Andre Miller, Rubio, Tayshaun Prince was on the team, but it was a lot. We had a lot of vets. Corey Brewer, it was an exciting team. It was a mix of like literally young puppies and old dogs. So it was fun.
Yeah. So getting to play with him too as a rookie must have been fun outside the locker room. I imagine that people show him that same level of respect on the court, like the opponents. Like he had a way of demanding respect and getting respect from people. Must have felt like you had like a hockey enforcer on your side, like.
There's no one like him, man. The demeanor he brings, the intensity, even in practice, every practice with us, he's 40 years old, with a bum knee, and he's running lines as hard as anybody. He's talking mess to guys. He's giving people hard ass fouls in practice. I'm talking about like 10 a.m. early first scrimmage or hard playoff foul. So the intensity he brought, he's one of a kind. You can't fake that.
Yeah. So what was it like? What was it like playing on the Olympic team?
It was great, man. It was a great experience. I think that was, for me, it was one of the first times I had like a specific role. I wasn't, the leading scorer of the team. We had Kevin Durant, it was Jason Tatum, me, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Draymond. Like, it was so many guys. Damian Lillard. I think it was the first year I made the All-Star team too. So, we're all coming off really big years, but they needed specific roles. And that was the year I just told them, I was like, look, whatever I need to do to, be on the court and help contribute. So I was picking up guys full court. I was like a catch and shoot dude. I was getting steals, getting transition. It was probably some of the funnest, basketball I ever played because, everyone had a specific goal, didn't care about egos, and we came together and, figured it out.
Yeah, that was a crazy Olympics. That was 2020 in Tokyo, right? Or it was the 2020 Olympics, but it was played in
Tokyo. And it was right after COVID, limited fans. And we only had like 2 weeks of like training camp where, before other teams had like a longer stint. They put us together and we figured it out, man. So it was really cool.
Yeah, there's some crazy games in that Olympics too. It felt like, it wasn't a given that you guys were going to win gold. You guys
we lost. I think we were like we lost our first first exhibition game.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the locker room like stunned, but I think we needed that because it made everybody closer.
Yeah. So in practice for that team, I've heard all the stories. I'm sure you've heard them too of the old school dream team practices that they'd have, how competitive it got. Was it that same way for you guys, where it was just like some extremely high level basketball?
Yeah, I mean, we scrimmaged a lot, and guys were going at each other, and then we got to play against the select team, which is always fun. Coming up through the USA program where the younger guys get to play against the Olympic team. I did it when they were over in Brazil, so seeing the guys go at us, and then I think they won like the first 2 quarters. We ended up coming back and beating them, but that's what gets everything pretty much rolling in that competitive nature because. Without that, you're walking into a hornet's nest.
Yeah. I got a couple Bulls questions for you. First is the easy one. Remember the time you hit 13 3-pointers? That was sick. Were you in the zone? Could you feel a difference in that game when you hit 13 threes?
Yeah, I wish I shot more. I probably could have hit like 16.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could feel
it was
it?
a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, whenever you're, guys that can score the ball and shoot, you try to figure out how to get in that zone. But, it just happens sometimes. If it might be in the first quarter, might be in the second, fourth, whatever it is. But you just try to find that zone and stay in it. I think you can see guys that are good 3-point shooters. That's how you get those runs going where, you get 3, 4, 5 threes in a row or, over a certain game stretch of, finding a rhythm. You'll see guys hit 7 threes for like consecutive nights. Because it's just, it's muscle memory at a certain point and confidence. So once you get that going, it's easy.
My other one was Coach Jim Boylan.
When he was also with the Pacers. I'm actually really excited for him. I'm glad that they're he's doing a good job over there.
Yeah. When he first made you manually clock in, were you like, what the hell is going on here?
So Jim, me and Jim had a funny relationship, but we actually we started understanding each other. But it was different because he brought a completely different mentality. He was the assistant. He was like the assistant coach, and then got moved up to the head. And he just had to try to do something different. Him and Fred Hoiberg had completely different personalities. So he literally brought like a clock, and guys had their name with stamps on it. And you had to punch in. And I'm not joking. I'm in my 5th year by now. I'm like, is this the NBA? So, but it was something that I think guys needed, man. He had to be authentic to himself.
So when that happened, you were like, okay, I guess we'll just try something new. Were there times when Jim Boylan would talk or give a speech, and you're like, what exactly is he saying right now? Because there were times when he would do the like in between the first quarter and second quarter, he'd do the media. and I'd just be staring at the TV, being like, "What? What was that? What did he say? Growth plates or something?" Like there's.
Yeah, he would have. He was very into it, you know. And you know, I remember him always be like, "You guys got to have the right spirit." I'm just like, dog, we're down. You know, we got to go out here and fight. Fuck spirit, you know. But you know, Jim actually cares so much for his players and for the organization. I think he cared. You know, I've had a bunch of coaches, and he's probably the dude that's cared the most about him and Billy. I don't want to throw Billy. You know, Billy was an incredible coach. Me and him had a great relationship, but Jim cared a lot, man. I think he did the best he could.
I remember when Big Cat told me about the clock in, clock out, the time clock. I thought like these Bulls are going somewhere. I loved that addition to the facility. Yeah, blue collar shit. So about the time clock, when you would punch in it, but would it would actually clock the time, or was it just stamping your name on it?
It was like a legitimate, like if you're at a construction site, like it had the time in and time out. If it was 9:05, it said yeah.
And would he review your time cards?
That's what I don't know. You know, we had like a fresh one every day. So I think he just printed out just different, like him or one of the assistant guys just printed out fresh ones each and every day.
That might have been the missing piece. I think the time clock was a great addition, but the second part of having a time clock, you got to check the time clock.
You got to check.
You got to check the cards.
See if guys are consistent.
Yeah,
you know?
the spirit thing is like, he would a lot of spirit talk, a lot of like intense. I can't remember if it was growth plates or what it was. But
we led the league in spirit this year.
Yeah,
it
was one where he like looked into the camera and he's just like, we got to get the growth plates and the spirit of these guys. I was like, dude, it's middle of February. It's between the first and second quarter against, you know.
Jim let us know who he was. He showed us some of his coaching stuff from Utah when he first came here. We were cracking up. He's like, I'm gonna be the same guy regardless.
Yeah,
so it was fun.
What about, did Fred Hoiberg ever play a movie for you? Because I remember he did that a couple times where he I think it was Dumb and Dumber once. I don't know if that resonated. I think Hoosiers maybe. He never played you guys clips.
I don't remember that.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
There was
Fred had some good ass plays though. He had some really good ATOs. I remember that. I had a couple easy threes at ATOs in that first year.
Yeah. Do you know when a coach installs something in practice, you're like, oh, this is gonna work. There's no way they can stop this?
I think it's specific to each guy. If you figure out what guys like what Fred did for me, he knew because he could shoot the ball and he played a little bit. He started figuring out where guys' tendency was. So like he would do a pin down specific to where guys like to shoot. If you like to go left right off of a gather versus hopping versus like he studied that, and there was a couple of times he did ATO out the right way. It was like a down screen pin down to a flare, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm wide open. And like in practice, and the guys know what's coming. So yeah, in the game, you're expecting something to be wide open.
Yeah, all right. So that actually just triggered something in my mind that I always wondered, when you guys are in the NBA and you have a coach, what level of basketball did they have to play for you to get, like, is there a level where you're like, all right, I respect this? Or because like you said, like, Fred played a little. He did play in the NBA. So like that's more than just a little. Is there a level where it's like if they played high school ball and nothing more, you're like, all right, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about?
No, I mean, it's always good, I think, to have pro level guys on the staff. I don't know if it has to be the head coach, because there's a common communication and respect, or there's a language that we speak that others don't. He's been in this situation. A good coach and a good friend of mine was Sean Respert. He played at Michigan State, all-time league, shoot the hell out the ball. Played in the NBA for a little bit, but I remember telling him like, "Hey, look, these guys are double teaming me. What's the best way I can, split it? Like, how can I get out the double team? I've been passing all day, but what's the best way to split it? If I go up to a guy or a coach that's only watched film but hasn't felt it, you might not have the same response." So,
okay, I mean, Sean Respert played in the NBA for like 5 or 6 years. So a little is just a few years. I feel like if you play 1 year in the NBA, that's a lot of NBA. If I played 1 year in the NBA, I'd be telling people I played in the NBA.
Say, of course. Yeah, no, I think I'm just saying a little because I'm going on my 12th year.
Yeah, that's true. You've played a lot. You've played a lot.
But yeah, I'd wear the jacket with the logo on the back.
Yeah, if I played for 1 second in the NBA, I'd be like, yeah, I played in the NBA for like. Is there also like, if you have a coach that didn't play high level college ball, is it a process where eventually it's like, all right, they show you something that you're like, all right, I believe in them, like I can trust them.
Oh yeah,
to a
100%. You know, I think it just shows what they're good at. Just because that they didn't play in the NBA, they could be a genius or a master at their craft in a different area. They might be great at ATOs or defensive positioning. You know, anything. It could be scouting. You know, everybody in the NBA is at a high level for a reason. You're not here for no reason.
Yeah.
Who's the best assistant coach that you've ever had? The one that we should be on the lookout for. Like, that guy's going to get a shot and he's going to be great.
Man, I've had so many coaches. I'll just say my favorite assistant coach who turned head coach was Sam Mitchell.
Okay.
Great guy. You know, Sam was incredible. You know, he'd talk to you, and he was a player. You know, I was KG's vet. You know, I remember being on team, and KG's like, that's my vet. So Sam Mitchell was great, man. He was a head coach in the NBA before, but he was my assistant.
Yeah, you've played in a lot of places that have legends that have preceded you, legends of the game, like KG in Chicago with Michael Jordan, but probably most importantly, growing up in Seattle with Spencer Hawes, the looming shadow of Spencer Hawes there. We are a Spencer Hawes respecting podcast. Was Spencer just a big part of the basketball scene in Seattle growing up?
Yeah, Spence was a guy who came before me, you know, with a bunch of other dudes. Legend.
We can say legend. Yeah,
legend.
He's a legend.
Spence is a legend, of course, in his own right. Spence is great. You know?
You had to throw in the own right.
But in all honesty, I know Spence. Spence is great. You know, I think Spence, when I was growing up, I was playing these little pro runs in Seattle. Jamal Crawford, Nate Robinson, I mean, the list goes on. Brandon Roy, with all these guys at Seattle, we do a good job of keeping the community and, you know, the guys, you know, out there. But Spence was always there, and he was the first dude that literally he pinned my shot off the backboard when I was in high school. And I thought I could jump out the gym, especially at that point. I'm trying to dunk on everybody, especially trying to impress these older pros. And Spence went up and just pinned my shit right on the backboard. And I remember my dad looking at me, he's like, that's the difference between high school and pros.
Yeah.
And then from that moment, that spurred you to become a professional basketball player. All thanks to Spencer Hawes.
The dunk
Spence,
contest.
yes, all because of Spence, yes.
Yeah. Wait, how old were you when you started playing with pros?
I remember my first pro workout I played. Me and Luke Ridnour. Luke Ridnour gave me I rebounded for him, and then he let me work out with him and play a little pickup game with him when I was in like 7th or 8th grade.
Holy shit! So by the time you're like 16, 17, are you still intimidated when you go to these runs, or are you just like, I know I can do this?
I don't know if you're intimidated. You're still like, oh man, like this is Jamal Crawford,
right?
Until but it becomes normalized.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Who was a better dunker, you or Nate Robinson?
I mean, Nate has 3, I have 2. So
yeah,
that's a good point.
But I don't know. Nate's a legend. I don't know if Nate would have beat me though.
Yeah. What's your best card game?
Card?
Yeah.
Like gambling wise?
Yeah. What are you the best at?
I don't know. Not Blu-ray.
You had a bad game recently?
Are you losing on the planes?
I'm not losing, but I'm not up.
Okay.
You know? But best card game? I don't know. Probably blackjack or something like that.
Who's the best Blu-ray player on or like that you've ever been around?
Best Blu-ray player I've been around? Mike Trout.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, Mike Trout can play some Blueray.
Oh,
that's not the answer.
I didn't expect that answer.
Yeah, shout out, Mike.
That's hilarious.
We got a little bit of my bread.
He doesn't need money.
That's why Shohei went so far in debt, probably.
Yeah, Mike Trout. Blu-ray got him.
Mike Trout's probably just kicking the shit out of his translator every day.
Yeah.
Blu-ray, yeah.
That's crazy. I'm in a fantasy league with Trout. He takes my money there, so that's not fun. Yeah, fantasy football.
Mike is a first ballot Hall of Famer, man. That's one of my boys.
I read that you collect old cars. Do they all run?
Man, I got a '68 Pontiac, a '70 Chevelle. I got a Grand National. I've had some. I used to have a '65 Mustang, so I got a lot of old school cars.
What kind of engine you got in that '70 Chevelle?
LS3.
Okay, all right. I got a
supercharger.
I got a 1970 Chevy El Camino, but it doesn't really run that much.
You don't run at all?
With a 454 big block.
Yeah, I've had old school, man. Every once in a while they stop. That's the fun in them.
Yeah. So do you know how to fix them too?
Hell no. Hell no.
Pay somebody else.
I call a tow truck and take it to the garage.
Yeah. I this is probably an easy question, but as a sports fan, it's fun to watch from afar, and it feels like there's certain guys that everyone's like, that guy's the best guy ever, and everyone loves him. And I feel like DeMar DeRozan is that guy, and you've obviously been his teammate with the Bulls and the Kings. Is that fair to say, like, he is everyone's favorite teammate? Because that's just the vibe I've always gotten. That everyone's
incredible guy. One of my good friends. You know, it's funny. When I got traded there, I said, man, you couldn't leave me alone for 4 months. But you know, we see each other a lot. You know, DeMar is great because he's extremely genuine and somebody that doesn't. You know, he's not trying to be anyone that's not himself. You know, and it's always been a treat to be his friend first and his teammate.
Yeah. After all this time in the NBA in the off season, are there still things that you're trying to improve on your game, or different wrinkles you're trying to add, or are you just at this point trying to stay in shape and keep what you got going?
No, I mean, if you're a competitor, you try to get better every year. And, you know, for me, obviously you work on your body, and the older you get, you try to get as much rest as you can and be sharp and continue to be like really good at the things you are. But, you know, I think I'll go into each off season and I look at like what can I improve on and what's a little aspect that'll give me, this much better. So
what are we working on this off season?
Man, what should I work on this off season? Realistically, I haven't got back and looked at a lot of the film. I told you I've been golfing, getting ready for this tournament. But I think I did a great job this year, man. I pretty much led the league in 3-point percentage. I shot 52% from the field. I averaged 24 points a game. So, I think the efficiency point is always, try to be as efficient as you can. And then I think probably just a little bit more like just how to get to the free throw line, get easier shots. If I can get to the free throw line, 6-7 times, it's easy. It's easy points. It helps our team get in the bonus. It keeps them in the penalty. It slows the game down when you need to. And I think that's something I can get a little bit better at least these next couple of years.
Who do you study if you're trying to figure out how to get to the free throw line more?
I think it has to be like how it is with your game. I think getting to the free throw line is an art, honestly. It's just like shooting a step back or a floater, learn how to shoot a three, whatever it may be. You have to learn what goes in with your game. It's not a specific guy, but I think you can take little things from each person. If it's a sweep through or slowing down, a bump, I've always been good at pump fakes, so it's, little things like that to where it's like, how can you manipulate the game to where, it fits yours?
Yeah, smart.
All right. So I got a question about we had, I think it was last summer, there was the whole NBA players playing in the NFL and vice versa debate. You caught a little shrapnel because Cooper Kupp played you in the quarterfinals in high school.
My
ball.
man Coop, man.
Yeah.
No,
and
that story came out like twice.
I know, and the story obviously is like Cooper Kupp beat Zach Lavine.
No, they did. They beat the hell out of us.
So is there context to it? Was his team that much better, or was because like
his team won the state championship?
Okay, so that's not fair. That it's like it was just you, and it was
So it's Coop. I think Coop is 2 years older than me, so I was a sophomore and they were a senior.
Oh.
Look, I was the number one player in the state. They put this little white dude on me, and I'm like, I'm about to get 40, and he's hella fast. So I could, he's just as fast as me, if not faster. So, and they had a really good defense. They double teamed, but he had a good game. I had like 20 points, but it wasn't anywhere near my average at the point. And they beat us by like 15, and the next game they won the state championship. So.
Yeah, that's a missing context.
Yeah,
that needed to be included.
You were a sophomore. Yeah, that's not. And it did go viral like 5 different times because people were like,
"It should have, man." What's funny is I didn't know that was him until he got to the pros. Now, obviously, knew way before you guys did or when it came out, but it was funny.
Did you like text him? Did you get his number? You'd be like, you better fucking keep
your
mouth shut.
About 4 years ago, I said, "Hey man, why is it just coming out now?" Like, you remember that, bro? This and that, and so it was funny, especially how good he is at what he does. So I'm not a football guy, man. My dad was a professional football player, but I stopped playing when I was in grade school, so I don't think it would have been good going either way.
Yeah.
What do y'all think? You think who's a better athlete? Football or basketball?
It's not better athletes. It's just I always go back to like if you see a NBA player playing in an open gym, you guys like how many? If you were in an open gym just working out, and I said, Zach, take 100 threes. How many are you missing?
Yeah, I mean, 85 or more.
You're making 85 or more every single time. Like no one's guarding you. You're making 85. Like that level of shooting, I just don't. I don't think people comprehend.
Yeah, but we're pros. Like that's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if an NFL player tried to do that, like they might be able to hit.
But ask us to go across the middle and get hit in the ribs. Like.
I do. I agree with you there.
I think
run a 10-yard out and catch it and toe tap on the sideline. Like we might be able to if it was like a guy just throwing us a ball on the do it with defense. I think it's completely different.
I do think that Wemby could be an elite red zone wide receiver.
Yes.
Just send him into the end zone.
I don't know. I think he'll get jammed at the line so fast.
So you think all football, like you think that football players it's harder to go NBA to NFL than NFL to NBA?
I think just the crossover in general is hard.
Yeah, agreed.
Unless you played that sport before, it's you don't have the wherewithal with it. I don't think a football guy can go in the NBA and be effective at all unless he was a high-level basketball player to start.
Right.
That's true.
No, that's actually probably the fairest answer that anyone's had, where it's like you are actually diminishing how many hours and work goes into both. Like if you're on either side, and to be like, oh, you could just switch is insane.
Yeah. Now you might have some instances where somebody could score. I might be able to get a catch as a wide receiver. Yeah, we're very high-end athletes.
I think Draymond could be a good kicker.
Yeah, Draymond's highlights from the Michigan State spring game. Yeah.
There are some guys like LeBron was off the charts in high school.
Yeah.
I think Westbrook would be an incredible football player.
Yeah, but LeBron got bodied by Dante DiVincenzo going over the middle his last playoff game.
Everything's contextual.
Yeah, that's true. That wasn't a fair shot. All right.
I do also love Draymond. I respect his game as a podcaster as well. So I got to take a shot every now and again.
Yeah,
hell of a podcaster.
Yeah,
hell of a podcaster. All right, Zach, I got one last question for you. It's a Roback question. RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Roback.com, promo code TAKE. Like we said, Zach will be out there. We're going to be there for the American Century Celebrity Golf Championship in Tahoe in July. We're very excited for that. All right, so my last one, do you want to give us who you think is going to win the NBA title?
OKC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a world where the Pacers could pull it off?
I like the matchup of the Pacers versus the Knicks just because the pace difference.
Yeah.
And playing, I've been in the East most of my damn career, almost all of it. But just playing both those teams, I think the pace of play was definitely favoring the Pacers. OKC, I think top to bottom is a better team. But it's the NBA, man. Anything can happen. You got to, pray to God everybody's healthy over these next, couple weeks. But you don't know until you can see them play. But if I were to, guess, I'm going with OKC.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Good guess. I would agree.
That's a very good
I
guess.
concur as a fellow expert.
Yeah. Although Jim Boylan getting a ring with the Pacers would be cool, huh?
Oh, it'd be great. I love AC to have that ring again, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm rooting for Alex Caruso as well.
Yeah. Alex Caruso and Thundor.
Yeah. All right. Well, Zach, thanks so much, man. We appreciate it, and we'll see you out in Tahoe.
Yeah, man. Wish me luck. Don't say too much if I shank one left or right. All right.
No, yeah, we got you. We got your back.
You're gonna smoke Devontae.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right. See you, man.
Zach Lavine was brought to you by Barstool Golf Time. This golf season, are you looking for an easier way to get out on the course? We've got you covered because the Barstool Golf Time app makes it easy for golfers to find the best tee times at the best prices. Stop searching all over Google for your next tee time or going through the hassle of calling courses. You can search multiple courses in your area, all from one app, and you can get your tee time set within seconds. With every action you take in the app, you earn reward points, which can be redeemed for free merch in the Barstool store. We've got a big promotion going on throughout May. The top 5 golfers who play the most rounds through the Barstool Golf Time app through May 31st will win a Chicago HQ Barstool Tour experience. Plus, one additional winner will be selected at random from golfers who play at least one round through the app in May. All you have to do is get at least one round in, and you're eligible to win. Spring's finally here, so come golf with us. Download the Barstool Golf Time app today. Zach Lavine was also brought to you by our great friends over at Shell. That's right, Shell Gasoline. With Shell, You've got members that get more rewards, savings, and special offers with the Fuel Rewards program at Shell. They've got great snacks in the C-Store, and they've got shopping online at participating merchants. Shell is the best. We've got one right next to the office here. Stop by it all the time. When I'm pushing the El Camino, taking that thing out for the summer, I'm only putting Shell premium gasoline in it. You can become a new member of the Fuel Rewards program and save 10 cents per gallon on your first fill, 20 cents per gallon on your second, and 30 cents per gallon on your third. That's great rewards. You have to get the Fuel Rewards program. Save 30 cents per gallon on your third fill up. You can get everyday savings afterwards. At Shell, members get more rewards, savings, and special offers. Join the Fuel Rewards program today at Shell.
Okay, let's wrap up the show. We got Fyre Fest of the week, and we have a special guest in the booth. It is Zach, new hire at Barstool, 3 weeks in. He is a member of the Cream Team. He was applied initially to be Coach Gruden's assistant. Famously had some self-miscommunication problems during that application process, where he was told to live tweet like he was tweeting from Gruden's account, and he just didn't send a single tweet for an entire half of football. Self-miscommunication.
What were the tweets? What would they have been?
What was that? My bad.
What would the tweets have been if you had tweeted them out?
It was just going to be highlights from the streams. But I didn't. There was an issue using the software, making sure I was doing them on time, and they were supposed to be live. So I fell a little bit behind. So for the first half, there was 0 posts. It was a tough look.
It's a software issue.
It was a me issue. I can't blame the software all the way, but
Wait, when you fell behind, like if you fell like one play behind, and then you're like, that's it, that's a wrap.
It was more so encompassing the whole thing. I messed it up.
Yeah. All right. So Zach he's from Florida. He is a Tampa Bay Bucks and New York Knicks fan, and he went with the boys down to Indianapolis, Game 4. So we wanted to get it from you, and Memes obviously can chime in how the game was. What was the conversation like? You were with Memes and Pug. The new PMTV will be out in the afternoon on Friday. So tell us how it went.
So I think the game could have gone better. We didn't get the win at the end of the day. I think the road trip went well. There's some good banter in the car. Memes probably the MVP of the entire evening. He manned the ship to and from.
He drove
behind the wheel. He did. So probably about
in the Maz.
That is correct.
Yeah, it's a nice car, right?
Super roomy. Tons of headspace. It worked out well.
What did you think of Chase Smalltalk?
I think Chase Smalltalk went well. He went good. He was good at including everyone in the conversations, sparking new topics, things like that.
Yeah.
If there was a pie chart that broke down the different things you talked about, what would that pie chart look like?
So we got into a little bit of traffic talk going through Chicago. The roads are terrible.
Yep.
Got into a lot of windmill talk in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. I don't know if you
there are a lot of windmills in that route.
What was the general consensus about the windmills?
Tons of them. They do light up at night, and a little freakish. If you look at them for too long, kind of looks extraterrestrial-like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So and then what other conversations were had?
And then you
don't have to keep clicking on and off because we'll talk to you for a while.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's all right.
Click it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But so we're going through Indiana. A lot of windmills. There were some issues trying to get the teeth figured out because Stevens were like implanted
vampire teeth.
Yeah. So there was some glue mixing in there as well. What else did we talk about? There were some parking situations. Seeing if Memes would give Hooters another shot. What are your thoughts on the Hooters?
The Hooters gives me stomach pain.
Oh, got it.
But Zach talked me back into Hooters.
So did you try it, Memes?
Yeah, I'm back in. Had a burger.
How was Pug on this trip?
Oh, Pug was the real backbone of the trip.
Oh, really?
Because he's not a Knicks fan. He's just from New Jersey, and he was recording everything. But he was the glue that kept us together.
Oh,
where did that hat was a stunner.
Well, the hat was so that people knew that he was not a Knicks fan or a vampire. He was a journalist, a human being. All right. So, and then in the game, how was attending the game with Memes? Did you guys share high fives, hugs?
Attending the game was sick. There weren't any hugs. There was a few fist pounds, a couple high fives. It got a little gloomy just because it felt like we were chasing the same 10 points for about 2 quarters. There's also some irate fans around the building. There's a woman that felt as if we were recording her child the entire time. Pugs was wrongfully accused completely.
Oh, what happened?
We sat next to
Yeah.
a nightmare woman.
I saw some of the videos, and it was she basically tried to keep getting into the shot that Pug was taking of the three guys, and then also being like, "Stop filming me."
So what'd she say? She said, you're getting my child in your video. You have to delete it?
So she was just like, "Can you guys stop recording this way?" And then Steven, very respectfully, in his vampire teeth, looked at her and was just like, we're just recording ourselves, like three of us." And then she just like disrespectfully was just like, "You guys are filming my child," to the point where the people behind us were like, "Oh my God, they're filming her kid." And then it was just, and then I had to step in and be like, "No, we're for a podcast." Like,
You had to address the crowd.
had to address the crowd.
This all, by the way, did happen while Stephen Shea was dressed as a vampire.
What was the takeaway from? I know that some of the New York fans have been upset about the Pacers, and more specifically Pat McAfee taking the mic and being like, "All you out of town sons and bitches, go back home." As an out of town son of a bitch memes, and Zach, did you guys feel like that was hostile, directed at you guys?
So no, let me tell you about their jumbotron team. They won the entire game. They brought every single player who played for the Pacers ever was there. So they started in the first. They introduced some guys, like a couple first-round draft picks. Then they increased. Then they brought out Jermaine O'Neal in the third quarter. Massive pop. You thought that was it. Timeout in the fourth. They do the "Let's go, Pat McAfee," and the crowd just went nuclear. That pretty much won them the game.
Yeah. Yeah. And he did tell you guys that you're out of here.
Yeah, but is what it is.
Yeah.
It also sparked a run from the Knicks, but they just couldn't.
He did. It was
couldn't
a
close.
massive momentum switch in the building.
I guess more importantly, what was the vibe like on the ride back? How much talking?
Well, before the ride back, did you get lost, Zach?
I should have took some photos of where we parked at. I did get separated from the group, and then I ended up at the wrong parking garage doing the loops. Steven said floor 2, and I kept going back to 2, like 1 to 4, back to 2, thinking maybe I just missed the Mazda 2 or 3 times. And he's like, "Oh no, that's the wrong one." And yeah.
Okay,
so I made
yeah.
a massive mistake there. I thought I was going to be in Indiana for the evening.
Yeah, because I got a text after the game because I was on a group text with all the guys, and they just said, "We lost Zach." And I was like, "Oh, this is not going to be good." So you were just in a different parking garage altogether.
Different parking garage. I was actually very close in proximity to the 2 parking garages. I'm almost right there the whole time, and I'm just spinning, doing loops. It was rough. It wasn't good. It was a bad look.
So you're in the right spot in the wrong parking garage.
Wrong garage. Yeah.
But if the car had been in that garage, you were in the exact right place to catch it.
Yes, I was just a little off.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a little off.
Right
By a
across the
parking
street.
garage.
All right, so the ride home, what was the vibe like on the ride home?
A little bit defeated at first. It did take some time to get out of the garage. A couple of gas stations tried to stop at. They were all locked. That didn't work out too well. We finally made it to a McDonald's. They could get some caffeine going because we want to make sure everybody was good for their ride home.
Any music?
Music towards the tail end of the trip there. Yeah, there's some playlists getting shuffled through.
Okay.
So Memes, don't listen to this. But Zach, Memes has a tendency to get very, very angry when his team loses. Did he say anything or make you feel unsafe in any way?
Did he
after
hit
the
any
game?
children?
No children were hit. No children were recorded, and I felt pretty safe the whole time.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Now we're doing Fyre Fest right now. Did you have a Fyre Fest? I asked if you had a Fyre Fest.
I did bring one today. Did you want me to go over it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So my Fyre Fest of the week would be oversharing with Stephen Shea on the way home after we were at the McDonald's.
Yeah. So I don't think Max has heard this. I think Hank and PFT haven't heard this. I wanted you guys to hear it for real. What did you overshare?
So this is what happened. We're at the McDonald's. They say go to the third window. We go to the window. We're trying to get me some coffee. The coffee takes a little bit longer than we would thought. I kind of like, it's late. The game's over. We lost. It's been some time in the car. I wasn't really thinking about. We were just shooting the shit, And me and Steven started talking about McDonald's orders, and so I bring my order up, and he just I shouldn't have shared it, but it's just 2 double cheeseburgers, no pickles, extra onion, 2 fries, and 20 nuggets. And then I didn't think that would be an insane order.
Well, you just tossed the 20 nuggets in at the very end.
He said it to me like 5 times, and every time the
also-
20 nuggets just get fucking tossed like dice.
It was like it was
craps table.
It was like it was the sauce that you put in at the end.
What size fries?
Large fry.
Oh my God.
That's my favorite part.
And how many days in a row was that?
That week it was the 4th or 5th day. There is a second burger place next to it that I rotated to. I know now that I probably should. I know now that it's a bigger order than some consume. I didn't think it was that crazy going into the conversation, but I now know to
Say it again?
It's 2 double cheeseburgers, no pickle, extra onion, 2 fries, and then 20 nuggets.
Yeah, it's a big order.
And now, Zach, you've been at Barstool for 3 weeks now.
I have, yes, sir. This is
sir.
second and a half week. We're in the 3rd week right now.
We're in the 3rd week.
We
So
are.
how many days is that? Like you're at 20 days?
20 days, yes.
How much weight have you gained since starting at Barstool?
Anywhere between like 18 and 19 pounds.
In 20 days?
It's not the best.
Were you eating this type of meal when you were in Florida?
Were you
Or is
eating
that,
in
is that like a
Florida?
new thing?
So I go. What tends to happen is I'll kind of fixate on a meal. So once I get into something that I'm enjoying, I'll then probably rotate that out for probably a week or 2.
Fair.
Yeah.
And then so for the past like 2 or 3 weeks, the burger and fries has got me in a chokehold.
Yeah. And the problem is, PFT, he got his apartment in Chicago, and how close are you to McDonald's?
So I'm 250 feet from McDonald's and 250 feet from another burger place, Small Cheval. It's not.
He's an alcoholic living in a bar.
It's very good. So when you moved here, you saw the McDonald's. Did you move into the apartment because it was so close to the McDonald's?
I did not.
Did it factor at all? Were you like, that's the extra little bit that I needed to make this decision?
No, I knew as soon as I saw the McDonald's, it would probably be an issue, actually. Having that kind of easy access to a McDonald's, really.
How many days in a row do you think you could go eating that same meal?
I've never put something like that to the test, and hopefully not any more days than yesterday.
I want you to be yourself. You got to keep doing what you do.
I did switch to a chicken yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good
so
call.
this is what I haven't
It's
heard
healthy.
this.
I did Chick-fil-A instead of.
I'm scared to ask what your order is at Chick-fil-A.
No, I learned a lot about myself yesterday. Did some some thinking, and I just went 2 sandwiches, 2 fries. That was it.
That's it.
You didn't get
2
the nuggets.
sandwiches, 2 fries.
No nuggets, and I did. I have a little ice cream, but it's just only 1 pint.
Yeah. So this is the part, PFT and Hank, you got to listen to, and Max. What do you usually finish your night with?
Again, I didn't think we'd be going over this, but Ben and Jerry's. I like Ben and Jerry's. They got good mix-ins, good flavors. Netflix and chilled is probably my favorite. The cookies and milk is also great.
Yeah.
Ask him, PFT, how much.
How much spinach? You said. I noticed that when you were talking earlier, you said just a little pint.
That is
with
correct.
the Chick-fil-A. That implies that normally it's more than just 1 little pint. How much is normal?
Just 1 to 2 pints. That's it.
Okay. But if it's 1, it's just like a little.
Yeah, just
No.
just like a serving.
It's a pint, yeah.
Yeah.
You are remarkably thin for the way that
Yeah,
you are.
you are
saying
in good
this. I
shape.
am like so jealous.
Yeah.
I carry well, and I usually just try to go with a black shirt because black is
Same.
Oh yeah.
Same.
Oh yeah.
I keep
Same.
it dark. You know
You're
what
looking
I mean?
you're looking at a black shirt guy
Yeah,
right
well, this
now.
is what we do. No, but PFT, I think he's being a little coy here. Zach has a strict policy that if he opens a pint, it's done.
Oh yeah, of
He
course.
does not.
Yeah,
But then he
yeah,
opens
I'm
the
the same way.
second pint.
Yeah, the second.
It's also done.
Yeah, I usually by the time I'm done with 1 pint, I've had more than enough ice cream. But you're just getting started.
So you don't believe in the lid either. I'm with you.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in
I'm
the
on
lid.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a no lid household.
Lid goes out with the wrapper. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. So what other meals have you become fixated on?
As of right now, it's just been burgers and fries. But you mean historically?
Yeah, I mean there had to be one before this one.
Oh yeah,
right?
the one before this was turkey sandwiches and potato chips.
And how many turkey sandwiches?
That was only for you just 2 with the chips.
You always get
You are skinny for how
Yeah,
fat
you are.
sound.
It's just like going back for seconds. You know what I mean? Like you ever go like home cooked meal, you like have some spaghetti, and like I'll probably get seconds. So the second sandwich is just going back
Listen,
for seconds.
I'm a big proponent. I got killed for this last year. The 2 bagels. Always got to get 2 bagels.
That's the right way to do breakfast.
1
I'm with
bagel's
you.
never enough.
Yeah,
At all.
when
It's
you're
a tease.
When you're
Yeah.
eating this meal, is that your only meal of the day?
It is. So
Okay, so you eat like a snake. You have one. You do intermittent fasting every day.
Yeah.
It is almost a fast. Yes.
Yeah. So it's very healthy.
So
Yeah.
a lot of calorie intake, but it's also then we fast through breakfast and lunch. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, memes.
So we got to the McDonald's, and I said you could order whatever you want. like, I have the company card, like, order whatever you want. And he was afraid to say that meal, so he only got a Diet Coke.
Oh, why would you starve yourself?
I didn't. It felt like a safe play in the car. I didn't want to be doing wrappers and stuff getting in the way. So
No, that's actually pretty fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, you were thinking about the order.
Yeah, it crossed my mind.
Yeah.
It did. And the Diet Coke, 99% water, so not 0 calories there too.
That's a great way to look at it. Yeah.
It is funny. We were just talking about the 2 bagels or the 2 sandwiches, which I actually have no problem with. But again, you just kind of sneak in the 20 nuggets.
Yeah. Well, I think my favorite part of Zach eating these giant meals and getting 2 of everything, even this guy knows, you just need 1 soda.
Yeah, right.
You just need one.
It's not going to get crazy.
Two sodas is a wild move.
I don't want to bloat.
Yeah.
Right. You wouldn't want to bloat from the 2 cheeseburgers, 20 nuggets, and 2 pints of Ben and Jerry's.
2 sodas is just crazy, though.
Yeah.
Carbonation will do it, though.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so, Hank, you have a Fyre Fest, or did you want to ask him a question about the cream team?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a fire. I have a Fyre Fest. It's not great. My Fyre Fest was just going to be, I was told that, we were going to have ice cream this week from you via this podcast.
Yeah.
And then today I heard loud drilling. Seems like there's nothing going on. I've talked to some people, some inside people that maybe work, in the kitchen here that they're not feeling hopeful.
No.
About ever getting ice cream, let alone this week.
Yeah.
I was promised ice cream this week, and I have not had none.
Zach was just shaking his head when you were talking, Hank.
So it's just never going to happen? We work in an office that
We
can't
bought
have
ice cream. We don't have the plug.
Well, hold on.
Oh, does it run
It's like
220
European.
years?
I bought an ice cream machine that cost me $7,000 and then was told, hey, guess what? It's going to cost double.
Just to plug it in.
Just to plug it in.
And it might not work once it's plugged in.
It plugs into like the dryer type plug. That's the 220 volt,
Correct.
not the 110 volt.
And I was told...
With all due respect to the cream team, you got to look at that on the specifications of the machine.
It's bad. I was told by the cream team we had 1 plug that could handle one of them.
Yep.
And they're like, we might need to figure out a way to get the second plug. Then, upon further review, we have 0 plugs that can handle that electricity.
We don't have a 220 volt circuit here.
So there's a 220 outlet in the kitchen that has it's got a 220 fascia, but 110 voltage behind it. So it's a pump fake outlet, but that's no excuse for needing a second outlet at all.
Right.
That is kind of a weird move that they put a fake 220 face on it.
There is from the eye test is 220, the voltage behind it 110.
Okay.
But did you know that we had 220, the ice cream machine had 220 when you bought it?
We knew it ran off of 220, which is what we found out about the existing 220 in the kitchen. Not being able to go to 220 and 220 is a massive oversight. It's completely our fault, and I'll take full accountability for that. I'm sorry.
Are there any ice cream machines that run off the regular voltage?
There are, but the thing is, 2 flavors was needed.
You need more power.
You need 2 flavors.
Yeah.
We need 2 compressors, and the 1 flavor was shot down. So we're like, well, we got to make this work.
Yeah, they tried to give me 1 flavor. I was like, absolutely not. You need 2
Over under
flavors.
$20,000 spent before ice cream is consumed.
It's got to be under.
Okay.
Pure panic.
So
It's got to be.
do they make 2?
Because we're at 12 right now.
It's so under. It's so under.
But we're at 12, but we don't have ice cream.
12 is not good, but ice cream's coming super soon.
Do they make generators for 220 volts?
Sorry. We could run off a generator. I don't know if you wanted to kind of fumes inside and the noise, but we can't pivot now. The electrician was here, but I don't know if a generator would have worked.
What are the chances that we don't get ice cream?
Ever? If that can't be that can't be it.
No, I need a percent because there is a chance that there's $12,000 for nothing.
Anything can happen. We might not wake up tomorrow, but so 1%.
1%. Oh, okay. So you're saying 99% chance there will be soft serve.
Experiencing ice cream, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Experiencing ice cream.
We will be experiencing ice cream.
Before or after July 4th break?
Oh, before.
I've put a hard date on them Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Wednesday
What
is what I
happens
want.
if-
I want cream on Wednesday.
But a hard date means that, what happens if we get past Wednesday?
Well, here's what we're dealing with the cream team, and specifically Zach. He told me that when he found out that there was going to cost an additional $5,000, he wanted to puke. And I told him, you should have puked, because I would have liked to see the puke. So I think that if we don't get it Wednesday, I'm going to at least get to see him puke.
That's fair. That's super fair.
Yeah.
Okay, Zach, I appreciate that you took accountability for it, that you're like, it's an unacceptable mistake, all on me, hand up. But whose fault really was it?
It is my fault, 100%.
Mincy?
Not Mincy's fault. Mincy did great getting a free topping dispenser, so I can't do that.
Yeah, that was his,
that
was
sounds
his task
that
with-
sounds like a complicated
Jacob.
task.
Not Jacob's fault either.
Okay. And you're
Pete?
Is there any concern, like, from
point.
where did you buy the ice cream machine from? You don't have to name names, but, like, I was just thinking, like, out loud, why would you sell an ice cream machine that works well?
Oh, they needed to go. This restaurant establishment needed to go
Small
to
Cheval.
an even bigger.
Okay.
it's Small
machine.
Cheval's ice cream machine.
Yeah, it is.
They
That's
have
correct.
good ice cream there.
Yeah.
I've eaten that ice cream.
Yeah.
So they just needed to get a bigger machine for the demand of like the Uber Eats, all the delivery services, and the in-house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we do have a high demand here, but I would imagine a little less demand than the.
Wednesday we're going to be stress testing.
Yes, sir.
I do think that there's a good chance that Pete is actually to blame for this because putting a fake plate on an outlet, having it look like it's 220 when it's not, that is a wild boy move. And there's one snake that I can think of that would do something like that because he was like, they're never going to figure this out. They're not going to run 220 off of this.
They're not going to buy an ice cream machine.
That's got all business Pete's sticky little fingers all over it.
Could have been an honest mistake.
No, not Pete. Not Pete.
Fair.
This
You
is
guys
a
know better
fuck
than me.
Pete podcast. Okay, so get in line, Zach.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I'm in line.
No.
Why? I'm
Fuck Pete.
Say it.
Fuck Pete.
Pete.
Say it.
F Pete.
Okay, FP.
Pete.
I'll take FP. This is like the initiation into a gang.
Yeah, you'll get there one day.
Say it.
You'll get there, young man.
Yeah. All right, PFT. So we're creaming on Wednesday.
Yeah, can't wait.
Scream
Creaming on
time,
Wednesday.
baby.
Yeah. We're creaming on Wednesday, Zach.
I look forward to serving you guys soft serve ice cream.
Yeah, I look forward to getting it from you. And I feel like you're gonna puke right now.
Yeah, it's going.
Is the electrician done?
I haven't checked with them as of right now, but it sounded like a majority of the work was getting done today. I don't want to give you a hard answer on that because I don't want to misinform you at all.
Tell me
If he's not done by tomorrow,
Yeah. Well, we still need the Taylor
that's what I'm saying.
reps to come and set it up.
Tell me a little bit more about the toppings dispenser that you've acquired.
So it's freestanding, or I believe we may be able to get away with a side mount, but we know we're going to go side mount with the cone, so we got to make sure we don't run out of a side mount space. It's like 3 different slots for some classic toppings that we can rotate in and out.
What are we thinking for the toppings?
You guys
Reese's.
Reese's?
We can do Reese's.
Yep.
Okay.
Hot fudge.
There is also a fudge warmer.
that's not
You may be able to
topping.
dip your cone into some fudge.
What?
Yeah, fudge warmer.
That's a little
Holy shit.
peek
Or that's
behind
not
the
like
curtain,
a
Yeah.
dispensed topping.
What about maybe classic sprinkles?
but we can do sprinkles.
Yeah. I think you got to
Crushed
go.
Oreo. I don't know if you guys like that, but
Yeah.
it can also be an option.
I think we start with the basics. Maybe crushed Oreo, Reese's, sprinkles.
You know what I like in my ice cream a little bit? Peanut butter. Peanut butter in the ice cream is a treat.
Reese's actually makes like a milkshake centric peanut butter sauce that you can put in your ice cream
Maybe
as
we
well.
look into that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely open to flirting with the idea of extravagant toppings, but I think we played the hits early.
Yeah.
Okay, let's flirt.
Wednesday's going to be great. Great.
Yes, Mames?
Wednesday's going to be great.
Pug wants some vegan ice cream.
No. Denied.
See ya.
I mean, we can't even get ice cream. The cream team. Imagine if I gave Zach the task of getting vegan ice cream, he'd puke everywhere.
They have like oat milk ones.
Nope.
No. Listen, Pug. We're in no position.
Tastes just as good. Come on.
We're in no position right now to be saying what kind of ice cream.
We're
we want.
lactose
Hey,
intolerant.
Pug, why
It's
don't, you be,
binary.
why don't you be a man and just get diarrhea like the rest of us?
Why don't you be a man and get diarrhea like the rest of us?
Shouldn't have to get diarrhea to enjoy the great taste of ice cream.
Okay.
You got to prove that you want it, though.
You're doing a great job.
If you
Zach.
eat ice cream every day, eventually your stomach will
Yeah, right.
harden up.
Yeah.
Be a man.
I'm pretty sure they make like oat milk ones.
No, get out of here. Take his mic away and take the headphones back. Zach, you're doing a great job.
That's not ice cream. There's no cream if it's oat milk,
It's cream.
right?
It's cream flavor.
No.
Cream flavor.
They have it at Wrigley, and it bothers me every time I see it. It really does. It bothers the fuck out of me. Doing a great job, Zach. I saw you take off your glasses and kind of wet your face because you're nervous. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to continue to do that for you.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
I like the
Wednesday.
we. I like the we a lot.
Yeah.
We're working hard.
Yeah.
We're doing our best.
I also, do you have the mission accomplished banner?
Banner's not in hand yet. No.
All right, we got to get the banner. I wanted a mission accomplished banner for the first day of Cream.
It's good.
Yeah. All right, PFT, your Fyre Fest.
My Fyre Fest of the week is that I quit golf last week after it was a strenuous round that I played with Henry at his club. And I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but you get so bad during a round or so bad at something that you just completely mentally break.
Every time.
And you're like, I never want to look at a golf club again. Never want to talk to Hank about golf. Never want to watch golf on TV anymore. Just fully on. I've
never seen you like this.
I convinced myself I was going to say fuck golf to the extent that I wanted to become a foot golfer and do the soccer golf and then make it my mission to lobby to have more foot golf courses installed on real golf courses just to fuck with every golfer in the city of Chicago.
I love that.
Which I still might do. That's up in the air. By the way, I think I could be a professional, like top 0.5% foot golfer in the world. I think I got a future in that.
Okay.
So I quit golf. I was very happy with my decision to quit golf. I've been thinking about not playing golf all week, and it feels great. And then today, got a little tap on the shoulder, and I think I have to come out of retirement for playing golf because I've been invited to the invitational here at Barstool, the Internet Invitational, to play golf, and I stink at golf. So
Which
I'm gonna have a sick handicap.
Yeah, the timing of it is crazy. You just quit golf. So the Internet Invitational, something that Foreplay and our guys from Bob Does Sports have been working on. Maybe like a month and a half ago, I made a plea to Dave to have either PFT or Hank in this tournament because I was like, hey, we're doing this. We got a pretty big podcast. It'd be cool if one of the guys, I'm not going to be in it because I'm not good at golf. One of them should be in it. And Dave was like, no. And we got a hard no. I stopped fighting. I was like, I'm just not going to fight for it. And then out of the blue, right after you quit, you get an invitation.
The second I quit, I can't quit this thing. It's like a bad penny. It's like a cat that follows you after you move.
Like I'd already moved on mentally. I was like, he told me no. Actually, Hank was with me the first time I asked.
And I said it should be, you're fighting for me, and I was like, it's going to be,
I just wanted you to play more golf.
Yeah.
And then, so I fought for you like 3 months ago. Then I tried one last shot like a month and a half ago. And then I was like, I'm done. We're not invited. It's fine. And now you're invited.
So now I can't quit golf. So now I'm back. Print the press release. I'm back, and I'm going to need all of your help, Hank.
All right, can we? This
is bad because Hank's just going to play so much more golf now.
No, but it's teaching.
No, I want to. I just want to help. I want to help. I'm not going to be coaching.
$1 million.
I want to get you coaching, and I'll take 30%.
15.
Okay,
that was a great negotiation by Hank.
Because we played with someone we played with a couple years ago. The first time you played there, you broke 100, and it was not going as well this time. And I was like, I think PFT's probably. I've probably seen PFT in the simulator for probably total 40, 50 hours combined over the course of the fall and winter. Only hitting driver, and only hitting driver as hard as you can possibly hit it.
Facts.
That's step one. We're putting the driver away till the end for it. We're practicing the other clubs.
You know what this sounds like?
We're gonna try.
Hank and I have that long drive bet.
Irons. No.
Hank and I have that long drive bet where he owes me $1,000 per yard.
But
at
you
Tahoe.
didn't even. You hit one.
You hit
one good drive on Friday.
Hank,
you hit one good drive on Friday.
How far did it go?
You hit one good drive on Friday.
How far did it go?
It went like 320 yards. It was fucking bomb. It was a fucking bomb. But you're playing golf for $1 million. Would you rather win $1 million or win a couple thousand?
Off you?
Yeah, but I'm taking 15%.
Would I rather win $1 million or would I rather win like $50,000 out of Hank's pocket? That is actually a good question.
Also, in the Internet Invitational, as far as I know, and I don't know much about this, you're competing against like 31 other golfers. In the Hank PFT long drive, you were competing just against
All right, well, so don't say you want my help and then just turn down the literal first piece of advice.
Hank, it was very suspicious how your first piece of advice is we're not hitting driver at all.
Fact or fiction, you've gotten worse at golf since we've had a simulator in this office.
I've gotten worse at some parts of
can't
golf.
drive. PFT, you hit like 10 drives out of bounds.
Hank's not allowed to do the fingers when the fingers
the fingers are for you.
You're not allowed to do the fingers. You're not allowed.
I want to help.
Put the fingers down.
I want to help.
But you have to put the fingers down.
Put the fingers
down.
down.
Put them down. You have to put
All right,
them
now
down.
the guns are out.
Yep, guns.
Hank, you have a long drive competition coming up in a month and a half against PFT, and your first piece of advice is put the driver down.
The first one. The very first thing you said.
You could have at least been like
Yeah.
kind of sneaky about it. Oh
the,
shit!
The
Zach's
long
got
drive
a
competition,
shotgun.
you have to hit them straight too. Like if you're spraying them, those aren't going to count. You have to hit the fairway.
I have to hit one straight. That's all. All right, but Hank, I'm not going to listen to your driving advice because why would I take advice from somebody that can't?
All right,
drive
just hit other clubs. Start there.
Okay.
You can drive as well, but like, let's try and hit clubs at a normal speed.
I'm going to need you to coach me. I'm going to need you to coach me hard.
We're already in a bad spot, but I will.
This is a good spot.
No, I know. I'm also bad.
Sounds like we got to make some golf videos.
Yeah.
For work?
Shit. Sounds like we got to get back in the golf video.
I'm going to make it my singular mission to win the $1 million. And you know what I'm going to do with that $1 million? We're going to have a fucking party, boys.
Oh, I thought you were going to say more ice cream.
We're going to we're going to have an ice cream party.
Oh, yes.
Ice cream. So petting zoo for the office.
Mm-hmm. Tootsie?
I'm going to make it rain Tootsie. Toosie's going to be in the topping bar.
Yes. Oh. I'm excited for you, PFT.
Yeah, I'm excited too, except it felt great to quit golf. It really did. I might have to just quit golf after this.
But I think we're learning lessons that, like, quitting golf led you to this. Me giving up trying to get you guys in led you to this.
Yeah.
Max not DMing Rebecca Romaine's going to end up with an affair with Rebecca Romaine. Like, this is what you have to do.
I think.
What?
You know what you got to do.
What?
Give up on the ice cream.
No, shut up. No.
Yeah, no, it's a good lesson that quitting sometimes works really well.
Yeah.
It's the best thing that you can do.
Yeah. All right. Well, to be continued.
Mm-hmm.
To be continued. All right. My Fyre Fest, simple one. I fell for a phishing scam that was a test by our own company. It's bullshit. We don't have to talk about it.
What was it? What was the link?
Okay, so
what was the link?
I have not clicked on a Barstool email in probably 5 years.
Like it comes from like people at Barstool.
Yep.
Like it just says like
the
person sending it. It's not a name. It's just like Barstool Sports.
Right. I don't click on them. There's like HR training. Haven't clicked on any of those. This one happened to be a free Uber Eats gift card for $50.
Wait, so that was the subject of the fucking email?
Yes. And I clicked on it, and it took me to a fake phishing site that said, you just got hacked. Please learn about cybersecurity.
But it said it was from Barstool, right?
It looked so real. And not only that, shut up, Hank. I'll say the other part too. I did also click on it again later that night because I was like, maybe if you click on it once, the second time they give you the thing. Now, I'm not going to point fingers to anyone in this room for why this might have happened. It sends you to a site that says, oops, you opened a phishing test. Don't fret. This is an opportunity to learn more about how to identify actual malicious attacks. As a result, you've been assigned the following cybersecurity training.
Oh, so now you have to do the training?
I'm not doing the training. I'm not clicking on any emails ever again. Can I just, and again, I'm not making excuses.
Nope.
I'm not pointing the finger at anyone.
Nope.
Did this happen a mere hour or two after I was told that the Cream team has failed in their initial attempt to get the ice cream machine plugged in? Zach?
Was it in the time frame?
Yes. I saw $50 free Uber Eats gift card, and I was like, I'm just going to buy some ice cream.
He was in a very emotionally vulnerable state.
Correct.
And if the machine was up, you would have never hit the email.
Never would have hit the email.
Because you don't need $50 from Uber Eats to order ice cream if you have your own ice cream.
Right here.
You don't need $50 for some Uber Eats ever.
So that's on us.
It's so bad that it was Uber Eats. If it was anything else, it would have been like, haha, I got that.
If it was like hypothetically a toll, an unpaid toll that
literally
you had to,
just someone was like,
if
here's
you're
some
paying
free
a
food.
bill. Like you don't need free food. If it was a free food text, I would have answered. I was like, I don't want to get fucking the IRS to kill me.
It was bad. But I do think that, again, not to point fingers, the ice cream machine not being up was a killer.
You were hungry.
I was hungry, and I wanted ice cream bad.
Mentally,
free ice cream.
spiritually.
Yeah. Free ice cream is better than any ice cream in the entire world.
Mm-hmm. Who can we point the finger at really, though?
Zach.
That's on us.
Yeah.
That's on us. I like that, Zach. I
That's
like the
on us.
accountability.
All right, Zach. Well, everyone tune into the PMTV. Zach on the way to Indy with Memes, Pug, and Stephen Shea. Great job, Zach. We'll finish with numbers. You get to guess first. No,
You said numbers.
I said he gets to guess first.
You said numbers.
Oh, that was fucked up memes.
The guest always guesses first, though.
Yeah.
What would you like to guess, Zach?
I'll just go 10.
Okay, for what?
10. Just
Just for 10?
yeah.
Not a reason.
I like 10. Smooth round number.
Yeah,
Smooth.
Okay, it is smooth.
I'll go for 4. June 4th. Ice cream opening day.
When is the invitational?
I'll go 71.
I'll go 15.
Hank, what's my target score to win the invitational?
I have no idea how the format works and what the handicap is, but net.
My handicap is max.
Your net, you're gonna have to be net 70s, which means like whatever your score is minus 25 strokes or whatever. Like you're gonna have maybe even net 60s.
I'm gonna go.
The guys in this invitational are like phenomenal golfers.
I'm gonna go 66. I think that wins
net
it.
66 would be
Competitive.
Net
which
66.
means you'd have to shoot like a 90. It's possible.
66.
You can do it. You can do it. All right, wait. So numbers: 3 for memes, 10 for Zach.
4.
I'm gonna go 71.
66.
99 puck.
You're gonna have to shoot.
21.
You're gonna have to shoot net 66 like 4 times.
37.
I can do it.
Max, what was your number?
15.
Come on, Zach. Come on, Zach. 10 for Zach.
25. 25.
Love you guys.